Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master today. Today, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign, playing Jeff Talanian's very cool Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. And with me today, in the Reavers of Thule campaign, are the stars of said campaign. I'll go the order that I got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and how grateful you are to be in Tuleborg. So first up, Carl.
My name is Carl, and I play Iphigenia Acantodoros, and she is an Amazonian warlock whose focus is on necromancy. And she's glad to be in Tuleborg because she finally was able to get back and upgrade her armor. So.
Nice. Next up is Arlen.
Yeah, I'm Arlen playing Arter, and upgrading armor is definitely kind of the name of the game. It's real nice to be not at whatever AC I was before, because I'm at AC 1 now with my small shield.
Nice. Next up is Colin, aka Spike Pit.
Hello, I'm playing Kane the Hammerer. He's a fighter. And he's not super impressed about coming to Tuleborg. He was kind of quite happy living the nomadic life out on the plains there after a while. So
nice.
We shall see. We shall see what it brings.
And next up is Will.
Good morning, my name's Will. I'm playing Amar Khalsa Singh, who is a Sikh warrior from 18th century Earth. And I'm just glad that we found something finally.
Well, you certainly found a lot of things on the way. It's just they were all spiky and horrible.
Yes, exactly. This one hasn't killed us yet.
Oh, jeez. And last but not least is George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm playing Malo Black, who is a Khmeri Celt warlock who wields a super cool scimitar he found along the extremely long journey to reach Tuleborg finally. And he is on a quest, or he started on a quest. Now he has sort of 2 quests, and he's excited to try to accomplish those in the city if he can. And he's going to upgrade his armor too when he can.
Excellent. So, what I'm going to assume, guys, is where we last left our heroes was everyone kind of arriving at the Dragon's Rest. Everyone has met Nude. And, this may have been obvious already from the map, but that's how you spell Nude. He's not, Ripley's surrogate daughter. So. All right, let me see here. And I'm also going to do this because I forgot. Again, credit to my buddy Sean for this suggestion, but I'm going to set up a character notes tab or a handout for you guys where you can add whatever notes you want. Okay, come on. Quit trying to autocomplete my fucking credit card information.
Good old autocomplete.
Alright, so here we go. You got a character notes tab.
Nice.
Okay, so the where we last left our heroes was having arrived, getting settled in, and then sort of rather than going by a day-by-day thing, I think what we'll do is we'll sort of fast forward maybe a week or two to flesh out sort of what you guys wanted to do, the shopping you guys were hoping to do, and then if you've got any, well, there are no official like downtime rules in Ash, but I mean like you can kind of use the five rings. The 5 rings. So do you want to manage your daimyo's lord, or your
Nice.
holdings?
It's a cool crossover.
Yeah, unexpected, even by me.
Yeah, that's true.
The what do you call it? 5e. So I was trying to say things from I think it's Xanthars has the interesting downtime rules.
Yeah.
We're also going to do some random encounters during that time as well too. So let's first start with just kind of in general. I know I've heard it sounds like some people have done some shopping. That stuff I'm not particularly interested in, especially for mundane items.
Okay.
So that's
that makes
fine.
2 of us, Kev.
You don't like having the high drama of purchasing a sword?
Oh, yeah, it's just too much excitement for me, man.
Actually, in the arm.
Let's.
And I spent half the session haggling in the bazaar.
Yeah. Okay.
Drama.
So what? Let's go. So George's got time. It sounds like he hasn't had a chance to purchase stuff yet. Carl, what did you purchase?
So I bought a. Well, I had since the ship attacked us and my shield and spear, I buy a new spear and shield, and then I upgraded to plate mail.
Nice. Okay. So you got some fancy
we
new
have
stuff.
so much money.
Yeah.
We're just loaded down with coin even after we gave all of Mala to the tax man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. 'Cause there was a 10% tax for bringing treasure into Thule. Okay.
Yeah. So item armor class 1, which is nice.
Nice. And what does Iphigenia want to be doing with the initial, like, what has she been doing during that week?
Other than shopping and get it fitted for armor, I don't know. I was curious about the Ichthian place.
Okay.
But I probably will consult Malo about that. I'm definitely interested in the Rangers and this idea of helping to map Tuleborg that we've heard.
Okay.
Or
with the Sages Guild?
And with the Sages Guild. And I think we have kind of like I don't know if it's a quest or they have a quest or mandate to get rid of the second sons or hinder their progress.
Okay, so when you say the Ixians, do you mean the Necromancers, or do you mean the Ixians who run the Caravanserai?
The big temple, the Ixian.
The Necromancers.
Right, he's a necromancer.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm hearing, guys. Are you hearing Carl pop out as well too?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having trouble.
Yeah, Carl. I'm hearing you're kind of like popping in and out. It's like poorly auto-tuned. Try talking again, Carl. Let's see if it. Uh-oh, it's all those jokes you made about Colin's electrons. It's coming back to bite you.
Yep. We'll refresh from.
Okay. Arlen, what about Artair?
So I went shopping for basically the stuff that got damaged in the fight with the jelly thing. So I got myself a shiny new longsword, even though the old one was nice too, so I'm keeping it. I've got the new one because it looks fancier. And then a handful of arrows and then some armor. So I have lamellar armor now that makes me pretty deadly.
Cool.
Pretty serious.
And Colin, what about Kane? I know Kane has been sort of itching for heavier armor for a long time now.
He's just gonna hang out for a while and see what comes about. He's not rushing into any purchases.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what armor he's got, because
He's got scale armor.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah. Geez, because your AC is a 6. By comparison, Iphigenia's is 1 right now, I think.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, if you upgrade your armor, let's see here.
I mean, I could at least get banded.
Yeah, because scale gives you an AC 6. You have, if you got splint, even banded or splint, it's 150.
Yeah, splint is the lamellar,
But
so that gives you 2 better.
It's worth noting too, the 290 GP, that's only from the ship. You guys still have all that other treasure you haven't split up. Oh yeah, as you Arthur just pointed out. Yeah. Who was keeping track of that? Because it wasn't me.
What, the treasure?
Yeah, the treasure you guys got from everything else you've been up to.
I've got the stuff from the ship last time, and then I think I've got it from even the one before that, which would have been. I'm trying to remember where we were.
Well, I've got Iron Fang Keep.
Yeah.
I've also got the spider lair.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so
So that's probably most
I think
of
are
it.
the two major caches.
Yeah.
Along with the
Yeah.
items we found.
oh, and you had that barrow right at the beginning too.
Yeah, I might have that one.
Great.
Yes, I've
Cool.
got
I
that.
don't have that one.
For those DMs listening at home, this is how you keep your players on their toes. Is just do not track the gold for them.
We haven't worked,
Guess you guys
we
earned
haven't worked
nothing.
Any of that out?
No, it hasn't been doled out yet, so you likely have more money. There you go. Look at those careful notes by Will.
So,
So,
you want to put stuff in the chat? And
yeah,
let
please, let's put it in the
somebody
chat, and then
work on
we'll
it?
divvy it
Yeah.
up between the survivors.
Once I know how much money I've got, then maybe I'll make an armor decision, I guess.
Yeah, because I think you
We have a
go.
decent
You
amount
got
for
enough
sure.
money to buy whatever kind of armor you want, man. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even with the
What's the
10%.
Virginia got?
She bought. What do you mean, like armor wise or?
Yeah, yeah.
Wise? One.
What's what?
Gold or armor? What do you? She bought plate mail. Yeah, I mean, I have enough to buy plate mail, and I still have 93 gold and 32 platinum left. Bunch
Yeah.
of pennies, but that's for drinking. The
Okay,
pennies
so-
are drinking money.
So the black pearls.
Do you know what?
It's going to take a little bit of
Sorry.
changing the.
'Cause-
Yeah, it's a
some
lot.
of the stuff is gonna cost changing from into species.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then because you're going to lose 10% from each of all the gems and the treasure stuff. Let's just quickly do that.
All right, I'll work on the first barrow treasure if other people want to work on the other stuff. I'll just convert it all into GP.
Yeah, so just convert, do 10% off of each of the, the emeralds, the black pearls, the silver circlet, then total that with the coins, and then take 10% off of that. Because that was the taxes.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like I could afford to get some badass plate mail. Then.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, I would have been seeing that being made, and probably would have kind of hankered after it.
Is there knowing your background, is there a specific design flourish that you've put on your custom-made plate mail?
I think maybe some sort of animal symbology of some sort, you know,
Okay.
something from my nomadic roots,
Yeah.
something to make me go a bit faster and be a bit fiercer.
Yeah. I'm going to adjust your AC here.
How many party members do we actually have?
Do not count Prada, because Prada has disappeared, as has Hobbs.
Okay,
So,
but
Right.
Robert would normally.
Robert
be
definitely
here,
would
so
get,
six.
yep.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
I
One,
knew
two,
something was funny.
6. Robert's, his son's sick today.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah. So I got a message in Discord this morning. Okay. And then...
I've almost got all these calculated. Oh, wait, is that Arlen? Is that for all of that stuff, including the
So this is
pearls
for
and the
everything
emeralds?
that I put in the chat. This is
Okay.
We're up to 580 or so GP per person after it's all been calculated out.
Okay, hold on. I'm almost done with this calculation here. For
So
my
the gems,
stuff.
yeah, and as with the other ones, so gems, you'll take 10% off for changing them,
Yeah.
and then 10% off the total.
For taxes.
Yeah.
And how many people? 7?
6, I think.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6.
Okay,
And you said
so-
do for the
Oh.
gems do 10% twice.
Not to be unfair, but would Arter get that?
Oh well, I've already spent all the money that I need to spend, so I'm happy to put my share into a communal treasure or whatever.
Yeah, because Arter
yeah.
wouldn't. Arter wouldn't just inherit.
Yep.
What's his name? Share. Jason's share.
Yeah, I
Yep.
guess you just get
We
the.
can, well,
if I-
but
For the
would we
ship.
want to make a donation in Jason's name somewhere?
To where?
I don't know, to whoever kills Beastmen. Who is the most anti-Beastmen faction in all of Tuleborg? And can we give them 500 gold for Yazen's share?
I mean, you could give it to the
That makes
Black
it
Claw,
easier, but
the Black Claw Wemmix.
Yeah, why don't we give
That's a good idea.
give the Wemmix, say that we'll give the Wemmix Yazen's share, at least of the first barrow.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That's what I
from
was thinking.
I like it.
makes it
Wow, you guys got
So I guess I should tell-
1303.
I guess
Yeah.
I should let George know what happened last time. So we went, Arter and Iphigenia went to the ship, and it attacked us. So we burned it to the ground.
Cool.
That's a summary.
Yep.
Actually,
That's a quick summary.
actually, after drinking, Iphigenia and maybe I don't know if Arter, but I'll speak for Iphigenia. Obviously, she like, well, it wasn't. The ship didn't really attack us. It was just like jelly creature that attacked us, and we ran and we shot fire arrows and threw oil, and the fire got out of hand. So
Right.
there might have been more treasure, but Arter jumped in and got some good stuff. I got
Okay.
a big box of copper pieces, and I open it up and scoop a handful and buy another round of drinks. Who cares about copper?
From
I'm fixing to put that up.
Is Arter your archer guy? The
Yes.
Welsh bowman modeled on
Yes.
a Welsh bowman? Yeah.
He is an archer, and he also now has a fancy footman's mace.
Oh, right, that's right.
Mhm.
But he's not the guy who's being a squire guy, because that's
No, that's
Yeah, that's the
Leocrates.
Yeah.
That other campaign that we don't speak of anymore now that Glantry started.
Okay, so
I need to develop that House of Kala for a Glantry field trip. Right, right, Colin?
Yeah, man, there are arseholes there. They're nasty, nasty people.
All right. Box gems.
Just FYI, I did not buy anything incredibly interesting other than I bought splint mail.
You guys found. So you have those discs that you found in the spider cave as well.
Yes.
As a thing of interest, and you've got one box that you still have yet to open. That you found in the spider cave. It was a beautiful lacquered box, and then I think everyone who had thief skills turfed the pick locks roll, and you guys were waiting until you got back to town. It's just you still have yet to actually open them.
Yes.
They're 224. Wow. So you guys
Yeah,
got
locked wooden box. yeah.
little over 2,000 GP in total.
And that's per person.
No, plus the ship. It was 240. So you got about 2250, 2300 ballpark. You can just add up the totals, but that's the ballpark number you guys got. Pretty good haul.
Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting to see just
it
from
ended up being like 1587. Is that 1527?
1527 is between what Amar calculated.
And George just added.
Yeah, I added what Arlen calculated plus what I calculated. So 1303.
Oh, I see. Okay, so hold on. So
Yes.
715. Wow. Okay.
So it's like 15.
1527.
Okay, you got 500 from the ship. So yeah, then you will have just enough to get the what do you call it? The plate mail. That's pretty interesting. Like I was wondering how much gold that was going to be.
Yeah.
And but I was like, well, fuck it, trust the system. We'll see what comes out in the wash, and that does not feel like an unbalanced amount of money.
It's not a Monty Hall thing.
Well, especially because everything in this game is on that, quadratic scale, so that the armor as you get better costs, 10 times
Substantially
as
more,
much
yeah.
as the last tier of armor.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So what's the plate? 2K?
Plate is 2K, although if you buy plate, you might want to buy a horse too, because it's going to slow you down.
Where'd you say plate is like 350? Plate.
No, plate mail
Full
is
plate,
350.
yeah.
Full plate
Right,
is
right.
2,000.
Right. Okay.
And I am looking up the cost for horses right now.
Yeah, plate mail is 350. Field plate is 1,000. Full plate is 2,000.
Yeah. I bought Splint and I am now at -2.
Oof.
AC.
Oof, pop, oof. Oh, right, you still get your
Yes.
AC bonus too. That's right.
Yeah, I got my cloak of protection.
Who is the other person? Oh, you do, right. So it's Amar and Malo. You guys are the ones who have the ranger cloaks.
Yeah.
I was wondering who would I attack. I mean,
Yes.
who would look so
That's fair.
good in the fringed collar. Okay.
I'm gonna have my ranger cloak. Well, no. Okay, yeah.
What AC is plate mail?
So plate
Plate
is
is
3.
3.
Field plate is 2. Full plate is 1.
And all of them have a damage reduction of 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might just go for field plate.
And save the 1,000. So I'll give you an AC.
Full plate just don't seem right somehow
Whoops.
for my guy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, that's the point, right? Full plate is the point where you need like a squire and a baggage train to keep it all in good condition. And yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why I just
I'm
stuck with
all-
plate mail for me.
I might even go for plate mail.
Mm-hmm.
Are you implying you need to be able to run away quickly?
Yeah, I just don't see myself in all that much armor. I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna go plate mail.
Right, plate mail.
250
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
Final answer.
Nice. Okay. So then your AC.
Man, we could pool our money together and buy a mammoth.
You should
that
definitely
sounds
buy a
pretty good.
mammoth. That ghost
I'm not
mammoth you
feeding
saw. You guys did? Who was the one who... Oh, it was Amar. Amar had that encounter
Yeah.
with the ghost mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that portends.
Well, there's all kinds of.
I was describing
Signs.
myself yesterday as I'm the type of DM that uses the whole buffalo.
Yes, exactly.
No scraps left over. Oh, sorry, Will. I fucked up and I hit refresh and I've lost you on the your camera now.
I was wondering. I was
Sorry.
like, do I need to refresh or to see?
Yeah, sorry, that was my
Yeah,
fault.
I lost Carl.
Oh, did you? Okay, Carl. Yeah, Will's back for me. The only person missing is
Will's
Colin.
back. Okay, I'm gonna refresh mine just in case I get
Okay.
Carl.
Just on
back for me.
principle.
Just on principle.
You guys are all
damn
doing
it.
it. All the cool kids are doing it.
That's right.
That worked for me. Great. Shit. I will now. I'm gonna try one more time.
There we go. Okay.
Still.
So we got money sorted out. We got gear sorted out. We have. I'm gonna go back to Arter again. And Arter, what was it like? What would you be doing during that week?
Well, I'm gonna do very little drinking. You know, the appropriate amount of drinking.
Oh, right. You were naked after last time.
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you factor in the cost of replacing your gear?
Yeah, I factored in. I replaced. That's part of why I assumed that I didn't have my sword with me because otherwise I would have gotten into more trouble.
Yeah.
But I replaced everything else basically.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And what do you think he'd been up to? Like, is there anything, or is he leaving it to sort of his employers to figure out what?
Yeah, I
know.
think Arter is still. I mean, he's not level-wise a henchman, but he's still kind of in that zone. So he's sort of like, whatever you guys want to do, I'm along for the ride.
Okay. And Malo, what has he purchased? What's he going to be doing for this week?
So I purchased some splint mail, and a couple of other assorted things like torches and nothing really exciting, iron rations, etc. I'm interested in potentially purchasing some scrolls, but that I figured would require talking to the right people or something like that. So I didn't go ahead and do that yet. But then he's got plans to talk to a couple of different guilds or organizations in town.
Okay.
One of which is the Sages of Pomarium about a few topics, but including doing some mapping of Thule for some revenue for the party.
Okay.
See what that is.
All right. So at Sages Guild, and then I think it was Iphigenia and Malo are both interested in the Rangers as well too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Rangers, he wants information about all the things we discovered on the way here, the Warlock King, etc.
Okay. And then you will need to either visit a locksmith or something similar to get that box open.
Right. Yes.
I mean, you can try and trust a thief, but you know.
That's okay. We have the money to pay for a non-thief.
Okay. And for
So if we do buy,
What was that, Carl?
I was gonna ask the question.
Of course, yeah.
If we do buy a horse, how much does it cost to board it?
To board it?
I mean, like to keep it in stables.
Good question.
I mean,
it seems that
probably a light war horse would be a nice thing to have.
so a light warhorse is so it's
I
250.
already bought the pack and harness. Yeah,
So stabling
250
a horse
plus-
camel for 1 week is 3 GP.
Oh, okay, I got plenty. I'll pay like a month in advance.
Okay. So the caravansary is likely the best place. They seem to be the unless you're have an objection to dealing with Ixians, the caravansary. And I'm intending on labeling this map with numbers and stuff in the next. Well, it's on my list. So, what I need to do is stop running extra fucking games and just focus on the ones I'm running.
Actually, I have one other question, which is XP for the treasure was
From last,
one.
do you guys remember what the XP was from last session?
Hold on, let me look.
Sorry, guys.
I think I wrote down that. Is that the right number?
What did you write down? Because I wrote down 1493.
Okay, well then my math's off because I wrote down 1483.
Okay, but about that,
Yeah, that's
we're
it.
close
Yeah.
enough to go
By-
for it.
if 10 XP is making the difference at these levels, then
Yeah.
we are really keeping it to the razor.
It's not. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. So we got that. That is boarded. Then let's see here. So that's what Malo is going to be interested in pursuing. We know that. What about? So Kane is kind of going to hang back and just kind of see where everyone else is taking things. Is that right? Colin?
He's quite interested to hear a bit more about these ranger guys.
Okay.
He's also. I was just wondering about how the weapon specialization works. I've got short bow. I wondered how I stand with using a composite bow.
Like a composite short bow, or
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I can't remember if there's a difference between the two in terms of the weapon specialization. But what I'd allow is you to rework your weapon specialization. We have not seen you use a short bow in session, I don't think, or if we have, it's been like once or twice.
Yeah.
So
I've been out hunting with it and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I mean, I'm fine with you want to whether it applies to composite as well as regular. I'm fine with you using the weapon specialization with the composite one as well.
Okay.
Looks like the only advantage is like it's got a slightly higher range.
It's got a
right?
little bit more range.
And you can apply your
That's it.
strength damage, I think.
Just seems a bit cooler.
For sure, yeah.
And I'll be fashioning some arrows. I'll be crafting some arrows.
Yeah.
And keeping my eyes peeled, sussing out the lay of the land, chatting with people.
Okay.
Is there? What do you do about carousing? Do you do any kind of?
Yeah, that's well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up. I want to get a sense of what you guys want to talk about, and then we're gonna do sort of that week in some narrative stuff. We're gonna roll some random encounters. I just want to get a sense. This session is going to be kind of a transition session for us figuring out what you guys are going to pursue in Thule, and then doing some initial role playing and seeing what's happening.
I guess I see Kane like during the day fiddling about with his arrows, making.
Is that what the kids are calling it now? Are you fiddling with your arrows in there?
Yes. Leave me alone. And,
I'm combing my hair, Mom.
and I'm going to. If the guys decide to go and see the Rangers, I'll try and tag along with that.
Okay.
And keep my eyes peeled. And of an evening, or probably from about midday onwards, go out getting a few beverages down my neck and get some bragging.
I'm reaching right for the carousing rules in Brood Brother Sky Fortress. So.
Oh no! Don't use them ones.
I've got some carousing rules in low fantasy gaming too, which can have some pretty fun results.
There's even Ash specific carousing rules in one of the special things
Yeah.
for first edition.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, I
yes,
think
there's
there's
one
like
supplements. Yeah. Okay, and Amar, what is Amar going to be getting up to in this week?
The main thing he did primarily, just as far as purchaser go, he just replenished his crossbow bolts, his torches, his rations, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny, the general consensus is to try and talk to the Rangers, especially since he's got one of the cloaks
Yeah.
that he found kind of early on, because that was from that first big cavern set that we went into.
From the Spider Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, them travellers that were down there.
Right.
That we found
And
dead. didn't we?
I'm pretty sure from last time when we went into the inn that there was one that was in there. There was a guy that was a ranger in there. I seem to remember. So definitely that's something that Amar is looking into, is trying to find out who they are, what they do.
Yeah.
And what's the significance of it.
Okay. All right. So
Another thing. So Kane and Iphigenia have tundra tigers. What do we do with them?
So they're not. I mean, Tuleborg is a wild enough place, but I think they're going to have to be boarded. So they'll be boarded at the caravansary as well.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, you could bring them around, but you can't bring them into inns. These are, barely
These
tamed.
lack of pet friendliness.
I know, this is... you will be getting a bad review on Yelp, sir. Tulian Yelp.
Yeah, we don't serve their kind in here.
We must be in Dallas.
Oh,
That's one of the few. Yes, one of the few cities I've noticed, at least in Texas, where like Austin, a lot of pet friendly stuff. San Antonio is similar, but
Yeah.
Dallas, like no pets allowed.
Interesting.
well,
And
we
no
have...
kids allowed in some places too. It's funny.
It's fun traveling with my pup because there's a bunch of jurisdictions that have bylaws against pit bulls. And without fail,
I hate that.
I have people who come up to me like as I'm gassing up and like kind of letting the dog go out. Oh, she's beautiful. She's so beautiful. They ban pit bulls here. I'm like, well, then she's not a pit bull. She's a boxer. She's a boxer cross. Okay. All right. So then, let's see here. I am grabbing, as is the case in every campaign that I seem to run that is a long-standing thing. I'm going to the notes that I expected to get to in about session 2. We're now 9 months into the game.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I never let it be said that I don't let you guys smell the flowers. Okay, so let's talk about what sort of the news about town that you guys have heard about. I know, or I saw that George, you were asking as well about the mold or whatever, like that red
The
plague.
blight.
Yeah. So a couple of things you hear is, for one, that this seems to have been it's a fairly widespread problem, and the sort of scuttlebutt is that it's something that does come every season. So it's not unexpected, but this year it's hit so badly that it's said that they've actually Thane Thurmond has actually basically shut off all of Jernheim, the town. It's a mining town to the north, where the community is there to basically do some logging, further north to do some mining. And it's apparently completely sealed off due to this blight. In addition, I mean, it's making things incredibly dangerous for incredibly dangerous for travelers in going in any direction as well, because these things seem to be, they seem to be intentionally making their way towards Tuleborg. Whether that means that it's just that's where the people are and that's a way to spread it, The sages are uncertain right now as to the reasons for that, but there are rumors that this is part of the whatever the inhabitants of this land had fled. The rumor that you hear from one particularly drunken Viking is that this is the revenge. This is this land has come back, and the things that it sought to escape are now burning it down.
And this is the worst they've ever seen it, I'm assuming.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how quickly did that arise?
As soon as the spring, at the start of the spring.
Okay,
this
so
is
this
the
year.
Yeah, this is the earliest. Like,
Okay.
you guys have this is only the first bit of it. From what they've said, I mean, there are, what you guys had run into, you sort of lucked out and didn't hit the, small villages that were hit by these things, and then you've got 70, a pack of 70 of these things shambling their way across, trying to infect, other things. Another interesting tidbit, and I think that maybe Iphigenia, you pick this up because you've got kind of a scientific / gardener's mind. No animals seem to be afflicted by this. Men seem to be the things that are the vector delivering this. No animals. There are, of course, this land is cursed, so there are undead things or unquiet spirits that rise. The vermin and other carcasses. But that particular thing, the red blight, that seems to only afflict the men.
So them wild dog things that we kill and then the spores come out of, that's a different thing.
There haven't been any dogs that have spores. It's the people. The dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so the
we've
people
got,
had the spores, but the dogs didn't.
Dogs did not. No, dogs were just undead.
Right. Okay. Faulty recollections.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long journey.
Well, I think that those dogs were responsible for killing an entire party at one point. So I understand why that's burned into your memory.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Yeah.
Do
you hear them?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great sound effect.
Run!
If it sounds real.
Colin, run!
As if on cue.
My girl has nothing if not a sense of drama.
Yeah. Man.
Okay. So so that's what you hear about that, is that there's been that's a ever growing problem. Another issue that sort of is right on the tip of the gossip's tongue is that there was an accident recently. There's been a series of ships lost as well, but that's all attributed to this thing called the White Death. And I think you guys, we never role-played through the actual loss of the Gallant, but when that thing went down, this is consistent with what what you're hearing. Some titanic, pale white creature of all tentacles and snapping maw that drags ships down as well as their crew into the deeps, as if it hated the prospect of newcomers, returning to this land. Though there are others who insist that no, it is shepherding people along. That it accompanies. They've been spotted by ships, but nothing's ever happened to the ships. So it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of what there's not a consensus amongst the gossiping sailors as to what this White Death actually is.
And there's no sort of apparent pattern to that, Kev.
No, it's not like they're specifically preying on one type of ship, or it's preying on one type of ship. So at least not that the gossips. If you investigated that further, maybe. But at least the idle gossip, when people hear that you were on the Gallant and that it was the White Death that took you down, that's when they sort of, and they share all the gossip that they know about it.
Did the captain ever show up?
No, he was dragged off, wasn't he, outside of the spider cave?
I guess I wasn't there for that. I don't remember. I thought we left him outside the cave.
We left him outside the cave with Preda, and then Preda showed up, and then when we showed up outside the cave, after spending a night indoors, of course, so it's not like
Yeah.
there was a fair bit of time, and then he was gone. It's
Yeah.
what I remember.
So maybe Preda murdered him and threw him in like a ravine.
And then went on the run.
Disappeared. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I really should have taken a share for Preda. So the what do you call it? Oh, in fact, you know what? I think Preda made off with that box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think she was carrying it anyway. She was the one who tried opening it. She couldn't open it. It was on her, so I think she's made off with whatever was in that box. And we'll let Hobbs dictate what happens with that when he appears again.
Cool.
So then, what other things here? So the Blight you've heard about. So you got down City Builders. What are you asking about the City Builders?
So get out my notes.
Because that actually might require seeking out a what do you call it? A sage.
Yeah, and that this was my reason. One of the reasons for trying to go to the Sages of the Comarium, because I thought they might be the people most likely to know some of this information. Sure. So what we had heard about the City Builders is that they built the spires and a bunch of the different structures that we encountered along the way, and possibly they were the people of the Warlock King, or they were here to fight the Warlock King. I'm not totally sure. We'd also heard about a guy named Ahote, who was a ranger, a friend of the Black Claw.
Yeah.
That might know something. Remember?
Okay.
So I'm trying to find out which side of the things the City Builders fell on, the Warlock King side or the enemies of the Warlock King, and if they had something to do with these Hyperborean discs that we discovered, trying to put all the pieces together to figure out
Sure. Okay.
what he can do if he's charged with, protecting Thule from danger. This seems to be the most imminent danger.
Okay.
Is the Blight and if that's connected to the Warlock King directly, or these darker and more ancient things that may return as enemies of the Warlock King.
Okay.
And somebody had told us seek the Rangers to find out more.
Okay.
So maybe we go to the Rangers for that.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Here's the Hote was the name you're going to be kind of using.
Yeah.
Okay. And the City Builders. So that stuff all seems to be with likely the sages that you could find that that information from. Okay. So let's do this. So the other things, as I mentioned, there was an accident. There were 2 ships that were apparently back from, well, I mean, one of them came back, and what they've said is that they were sailing somewhere up the coast near the Bay of Mists, and even beyond, and they were set upon by Titanic men. Some kind of near bestial man that's, they say, between 1.5 to twice the height of men, who with ships twice the size of the longest Drakkar, and of the 2 ships that had been sailing out there, only one of them returned quite badly damaged. And then because it's the control mechanism, the rudder was damaged, it collided with another ship, an Ixian ship, and both it and the Ixian ship have sunk into the harbor, and they are now in the midst of kind of doing salvage operations between the 2 of them. But the the stories of these enormous men and enormous raiders from up the coast, that seems to be sort of what people are talking about now as well.
Were they familiar with these existence of these raiders prior to this, or is it their first encounter with these things?
There's been, I mean, to be honest, because of the White Death, they haven't sailed as far up the coast as Viking sailors would normally go. It turns out that the ship itself, if you look at, let's take a look at maybe Nude's map. Let's go over here. We'll use that as a frame of reference. Where I think I've got a page with Nudes. There it is. Guys, there it is.
When you first sent it, I was like, oh, this is a great contextual map to know exactly where Tuleborg is in the context of all of Thule, instead of like, this is the map of the game.
Yeah. Well, I've got for myself, by the end of the year, I will have those printed maps off for you guys, too, so we can all celebrate our 1-year anniversary of the game with our poster maps, so that should be pretty cool. And that'll be the full-size Thule map, not the little bit. Okay. Boy, look at these strangers. Boy, these fresh-faced young characters. Let's clear these guys out of here. Boom. Goodbye, guys. All right, so this is the Nudes map. And I'm picturing this is also carved. The reason that you guys have copies of this stuff is because Nude has a big single flank, table that people drink around at the bar, and this is what is carved in the center of that table at the Dragon's Rest. So people have been creating copies of that and then selling, whatever's gone on, or selling it on to other people. The blood marks and stuff like that's unfortunately stained into the table as well. So where you guys are here is Tuleborg. Jernheim, the place that has been quarantined, that is right there. It's about 100 miles north, give or take. The Bay of Mists is right over here, so called because it is shrouded in thick mists, thick fog, pretty much the entire year. And within the mists, it's said that there are these Inuit tribes or Eskimo tribes that live and hunt and know a lot of the secrets of the land. That Nude's staff is mostly Eskimo. So and it's said that he has connections with the Misthunters, which is what people kind of refer to the communities in the Bay of Mists to. Bay of Mists also hold apparently all sorts of horrible secrets as well. There's a fairly large.
Where did Nude?
Where did Nude?
Finish. Sorry. No, I was going to say, where did Nude's expedition originally land? Because he was a survivor of that.
Yes, that would be Untergang of Voland, right over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dark fate of... it's so named after the ill-fated captain of the Dragon's Tooth. The White Death Fjord along here too is this incredibly long waterway that he said was full of cursed things as well. They fled the White Death into the White Death Fjord. It didn't follow them into there. The two first kind of heralds of the arrival of Thule was that massive wave that destroyed the Ixian vessel that Nude and his men were pursuing, men and women. And the second thing was the White Death, when it pursued the Dragon's Fang. Nude has traveled all the length and breadth of this place, but it was basically beyond the Deadlands is where he says he has traveled. The Deadlands is there are some rumors of ancient civilization or ancient communities within the Deadlands, but the Deadlands are unlike are being told to you at least as unlike anything else that they've seen on Thule thus far. The Deadlands are as if some kind of massive conflagration consumed that entire region. Though brave or foolhardy travelers have said that there are spires of forgotten cities somewhere within there. It's somewhere over here, though. It's beyond the Deadlands, somewhere further into Thule, to the east, is where they adventured. And, you know, they came back with wild tales, you know, massive winged creatures, you know, flying overhead, inland. The kind of humanoid mermen and merwomen. Horrible creatures that inhuman things that lurked around the sides of the boat in the evenings, and then finally being set upon by this massive, you know, batch of raiders, or massive oversized raiders. That's what they've come back with, and unfortunately, you can't really, with the ship having been sunk, you can't really see evidence of that. But they're talking about, you know, arrows that are the size of javelins, and spears, you know, that are, you know, could serve as a pole or like a whatever, it's like a mast on a small boat, a skiff. So they're, yeah.
Those Inuit people, Kev.
Yep. The Misthunters.
Did they travel down as far from? Did they travel down from the Bay of Mist as far as Tuleborg, or do they keep to themselves?
It's so the rumor is that Nude's friends. It's assumed that he sort of made friends with the Misthunters, and that's how he survived all that time in Thule. Is because he's got, I mean, his whole staff is from our Misthunters, and it's rumored that, yeah, Misthunters arrive on their little, you know, kayaks and smaller sailing vessels, but they're so small and they kind of keep to themselves that they can kind of disappear without anyone, you know, really tracking. But that's sort of that is the rumor, that he still has connections with the Misthunters.
Because you've anticipated my next question and answered the question about kayaks and stuff.
Yeah,
but you've also sort of touched on their survival skills a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that based on our performance crossing the wilderness previously, it wouldn't hurt to befriend an Inuit and maybe get some survival skills training if we're going to be travelling about in these lands.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I might keep my eye out for such a chap.
Sure.
Or lady or whatever.
They're a fairly laconic type, so like they're not particularly you know, gregarious or outgoing. So it would take some effort on your part to kind of get them to warm to you. What's your charisma modifier?
Just shut my character sheet down, thinking I wouldn't need that for a minute.
Nope, someone's hiccuping.
It's probably not great, is it?
I don't think it's terrible.
Oh, it's all right actually. Yeah, I'm 13 charisma, so I've got a plus. I've got a 1 to reactions.
Okay. Okay, so then that's what we'll think about doing some of that as. Or
I want to try and leverage my kind of nomadic background as well. You know, all nomads together, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think here. Is there any other stuff you hear about? I mean, the Frostwoods to the north. You've heard that there is a. You know, there are a circle of druids that apparently, you know, have influence over that dangerous and wild area, but the Frostwoods are said to be haunted as well in some parts. There are, let's see here, there are some known ruins to the south. Krinderheim is far to the south here on this island, but that is basically it. I believe it translates to Reptile Island.
Yeah, that looks spooky as all get out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
the island of the Lizard King.
Yeah, it is. It's said to, you know, there are some who have come here, you know, in search of booty and treasure, and that definitely is said to have. There are some who've come back with riches, but it's said to be to have ruins unlike anything else that has been encountered thus far in this part of Thule. And there's said to be horrible serpentine or reptilian creatures that lurk in that region.
Where is that?
What was that? Sorry?
Sorry. I was typing in notes into the character notes. Where was that location?
Krinderheim is just to the south.
Yeah, down there. I see it. Yeah.
So there's about 200 miles to the south there, I'd say.
Yeah. And then one place that has been circumnavigated is, you'll see in the top left there's a place called Hexo. Hexo means Witch Island. And it is completely surrounded by this wall of cliffs that then tower up into mountains. It's a completely unnatural, unless this place is completely, completely encircled by, or completely covered by mountains. It's said to, to contain all sorts of secrets. Some of the foolhardy explorers who have found passes said that they found all sorts of terrible witchcraft and suffered horrific losses inside. It's said that there is some massive sprawling, hundreds of miles of plateau within that have ancient ruins, but it is another place where it's not like the Deadlands, or at least not spoken of the Deadlands, where it has been charred and the land itself has been scoured. It's just a incredibly secretive place full of secret, dangerous magics. So, you hear about that. I think you guys also had said last session you wanted to hear a bit about the Second Sons as well.
Yeah.
So the Second Sons are basically the idiot children of, or the non-inheriting children for nobles from Cromarium, from the grandest city in Hyperborea. And they basically have showed up with hired armies to try and basically forge a land of their own. And why don't we do this here? This is just a percentile check. Give me a percentile check, please, somebody. I guess you can just roll d20. That will still work the same.
All right, I'll do it. Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Well, great.
So,
Nice.
what do you guys hear is that apparently there is, so if you're asking about the Second Sons, yeah, there's a couple noble families that are trying to, forge something. They really think they've got a good alliance with Thane Thurmond, and that they're going to make their, riches out here and bring glory to their families and whatnot. There's talk that you overhear, Amar, that they have, there is a, nothing, there really is nothing like standing on the shoulders of giants, even, proverbial ones, or metaphorical ones. And you've heard tell that they have found a keep. There's talk of this freestanding keep that is to the southwest of Tuleborg. And sort of when the sort of rumors about this seem to suggest that it's, unless there's a second one in the same region as Ironfang Keep, it appears that the Second Sons are setting their sights on potentially using that to then expand their lands out.
Yeah, we need to preemptively strike that.
What else? The city builders. Okay, so you're going to want to... I mean, I think that at least the scuttlebutt in the tavern is really that, it's this place was here, Tuleborg was here when we came here. We didn't, Thane Thurmond built this on top, and it's said that Rangval the Trout knows all the secrets of Tuleborg, of Thule, of everything in this land. And I think that's everything you guys can can get from here, from just sort of sitting around and bullshitting in the tavern. Is there any other topic of conversation that you guys think would be covered just by the kind of chat around the tavern? Any other info dumps you want?
Does anybody ever sort of talk about the what do you call them, the ranging prides whilst we're in town? Do they speak about them ill favor?
Yeah, they're basically spoken of as if they are at the same type of threat as the beastmen, as the other horrible creatures that are out here. Yeah,
that don't sit too well with old Kane.
No.
Is there a way to go ahead?
Go ahead, Carl.
No, finish your thought.
I'm that is a dangerous prospect with me.
Colin was saying something. I thought he was done. Sorry.
Colin, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that doesn't sit too well with Kane. If there's too much of bad mouthing the ranging prides, there may be tables flipped and chairs broken.
So
just saying.
To that end, I think there probably is. Because remember, they've had run-ins with them already too. And one of the guys, so you guys, this will be happening at one of the taverns. That maybe it's at the what do you call it? Dragon's Tooth, because that seems to be the place for a lot to kind of meet. Just one of many evenings. And one guy is talking about his lovely cloak he's got. These beasts that are out here. He's everything embodied by like pompous, spoiled rich. He is the child of aristocracy, but he's also a fairly, appears to be a fairly dangerous opponent as well too. He's one of these, just like you would expect from the children of a warrior class. He's been raised, to carry a sword as soon as he was old enough. So he carries himself like a warrior, and what he's bragging about is this new pelt that he has, because they rode them down, these beastmen, and he skinned this beastman and wears this as and he gestures to it, and you can see there's the pelt is it a lion, is it a wemmick? It's difficult to tell, but he's got himself a little half cloak that he's made out of this. And I think you maybe overhear this while you guys are sitting around at the Dragon's Tooth, or Dragon's Rest. What does Kane do, if anything?
I think who will I be drinking with?
Who wants to be here for the scene, guys?
Who's in there?
If has a chest full of, I'd be there. If Ingenia has a chest full of copper to spend on drinks.
Okay. So we're hanging out there.
Yeah.
What's everybody else's feelings on the Wemmick?
Well, I want to try to I agree with Amar that I wanted to try to preempt these Second Sons, but I was going to ask if there's a legal way to claim that Iron Fang keep, because we got a lot of money and we could maybe put a claim on it. Like bureaucratically. Right.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's my idea. But
So
if Kane starting to growl, I might put a hand on his arm and say, "Hey, maybe this is not the time. Maybe out in the wilderness we can take care of these guys." He has a lot of cronies and friends around him, and we want to make good with the people of Tuleborg. We don't want to cause trouble here.
yeah, and you can overhear him as he says that. He says, "And it really was. It presented as some fearsome creature, some fearsome cat, but it mewed like a house cat when it died."
I don't know if Virginia's wise words will be enough.
Right.
Okay, I'll just.
Does anyone else? Is anyone else there in this scene?
Amar's there.
Amar's there. Does Amar? So it's Iphigenia is trying to calm Kane, but you can hear like as soon as that peals of laughter from this guy's all
Yeah,
his
that,
idiot
you know,
friends.
that's really grating with me. That laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Amar's peaceful. He only fights when he has to. So he's going to refrain from saying or doing anything, and he passes a look to Kane of understanding.
So his big, soulful eyes are looking at you, Kane. This inscrutable face, big beard, big mustache, the azure turban. Amar's face seems to suggest I think a clear message. Not now.
I think Kane has got, over time, has developed a lot of respect for Iphigenia and Amar. He knows he's not the wisest, and I think I might swallow it this time. But I'm gonna make
Careful
sure
of the dogs.
I get
No dogs in here.
I'll get a good look at these fools, and probably at some point I'll maybe just swing by their table and make sure I give them a bad look and
Sure.
fix them with an evil stare and make sure I clock them.
Yeah. You will absolutely remember this fool's face.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he sees right through you. He's one of these, noble idiots who really only pays attention to his kind. So
yeah, I will be adjusting his focus in the near future.
Okay. Good. All right.
Nice.
Okay, so then does and you guys get a point of Astonishing Fortune for that. That was great role playing.
Oh, nice.
So everyone's got 2 points of Astonishing Fortune right now. Let's also, does Arter, there was a fairly lengthy bit of pretty impressive poetry. Arlen, we're about to transition into our mid-session break. Do you want to lead us out with a little bit of poetry?
Sure, I can do that. I, with my split-tongued personality, do find it atrociously difficult to speak in ways that I myself understand, let alone for all you who are not divided between the snake tongue and the eagle eye and great ursine paws that rent the earth beneath their claws. A mighty doom is laid upon him who, unable to speak straight in mammalian, must think like a reptile or a hawk, or worse still an insect, a thoughtless ant, able only to repeat that most basic of commands, and I who swear by bear or boar or other beast to find myself split. Hiss, hiss, caw, caw, what interminable noise they make within my mind, and pay no rents there, no obligation to feudal lord or longship captain, even one of them.
Nice.
Nice.
I always find myself whisked off to some misty hillside somewhere.
Yeah, totally. One
totally
last thing I'll mention as well is, just because you've reminded me of it, Carl. So you absolutely, this whole land is a boom town, right? Like that, or this whole land is wide open frontier. So really, like the from what you can understand, like the reason the Second Sons are having an opportunity to go out and do that stuff is because they're paying Thane Thurmond. If you guys were able to make the land, or to seize the land, control the land, and pay a tax on it, then you guys could definitely do that.
Cool.
So that
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's an idea. I mean, we have like gobs of money. I mean, we could see if that's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be carrying around a chest of copper pieces my whole life.
Yeah,
it
that's
could be
fair.
used for Jason's. Yeah, that's a good idea, because that does service the interest of
Jason's share could be like a down payment on the castle, basically.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Jason's-
Okay.
That's where
Yeah,
he fell.
that would be totally with his.
Oh, we
his-
could even say like we claim Iron Fang Keep for the Black Claws as their representatives, using that as a down payment. Maybe, I don't know.
The thing is, the popular
Well, it might
opinion is
be
that
hard
they're
to play that for the
savages.
Black Claws, but- yeah, but we could come up with a name, call ourselves a mercenary company or something, and say we want to claim
Yep.
the, and here's a whole boatload of cash for you to say that's okay. That's the right.
And your
Carry a
mercenary
banner,
group is
yeah.
going to be the Reavers of Thule. This has been basically the
Yeah.
Batman Begins of.
Oh, that's good.
I like
What
that.
are we?
Yeah.
Some kind of Reavers of Thule?
Roll credits.
All right.
And once we establish our hold on the keep, we can assist the Black Claws exert their territorial claim, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
yes.
use that as a base for exploring
Exactly.
outward for
Yeah.
the other group.
That would be a good kind of jump.
Yeah.
Off point if we want to go further into Thule.
Yeah, I still want to talk
Good
to the
plan.
Ixian necromancers, and maybe they can give us some insight on those weird undead and that keep too, because we still
Yeah.
gotta clear that out somehow.
Okay.
And also to maybe find some new spells, but we could do that after the break.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's take a break and then we'll come back and we'll kick off with some more role playing.
All right.
Okay, so we're back. Oh,
Okey-dokey.
here I'll put the where are we here? The hold music on.
Monty Python intermission music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's put this down. There we go. Intermission music up.
it's like speakeasy music.
Yeah, the intermission music is.
So I did pick up a copy of Descent into Avernus, the new D&D offering.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I like it. But I mean, I guess
Nice.
I'm slightly disappointed because I guess it's from a Baldur's Gate computer game tale, but I don't know. So it's not. It was a cool backstory. I thought, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the corruption of one of like a angelic soldier. So it's pretty interesting. That now is the Duke of Hell. It looked like a pretty interesting backstory, and then the first part, even the first part in Baldur's Gate, is pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know, George, if you picked up the Descent into Avernus yet.
I have not. I want to get the alternate cover if I can.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Which, yeah. So that's the one.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll just order
Usually
it.
I don't get alternate covers, but this is pretty cool looking. So.
I like that one. This happens. Arlen will know every time I play one of these games. I wind up ordering something as we're playing.
Yeah.
So now you've forced me because that looks super cool, and I heard good things overall.
Yeah, no, it's a really neat story. Like I started reading through it last night, and I'm ready to the chapter where you have to start exploring the plane, Avernus. So it's pretty good. It's pretty compelling.
Cool.
I mean, it's a little. I don't know how players would react to the initial railroadiness of being press ganged by the Flaming Fist mercenary company, but
Interesting. Well, that kind of happens at the beginning of with the Underdark one.
Yeah, the
right.
Abyss.
yeah, you're like a prisoner,
yes,
you're a prisoner of the Drow. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Which reminds me of the old
You bet.
A4 adventure from AD&D,
Right.
where you start out, when you're abducted and you don't have any equipment, etc.
Yeah, Out of the Abyss is called. Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
So
What's that? The something of the Drow, isn't it? The what's the old adventure called?
Descent into the depths of the earth.
Which one?
The
Oh, is it that one?
D1 and D2. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that wasn't what I was thinking of.
Yeah. There is actually like a third-party product by AAW called Rise of the Drow, or Drow, however you pronounce it.
Yes, yeah.
And that looked like, it was got a lot of rave reviews for the Pathfinder edition, and they redid for 5e, which I should get at some point. But it looked, it's supposed to be really good, so.
Cool.
But I guess I'm impressed. It's just finding people, because we finally got, you were talking about your group, George, how it's hard to get them together. It's the same with my D&D group, because they travel a lot. They have a lot of, work-related things that come up. So we finally got together for our Tomb of Annihilation, and it turns out we've almost played for 2 years, and they're not to the tomb yet. At least they're in the city, and they need to get one more of the puzzle cubes. But it's
Yeah,
But that one's been pretty fun.
that's cool.
It's less railroady than others because you can sort of wander around the jungle.
Are you doing the Death Curse? Yeah.
I started with it, but I think it's been so long that no one really pays attention to it anymore. No one's died either. So.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they got kind of lucky. They picked the guy. I'm sorry if I'm spoil. Do you guys have it? I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
So they picked the guide that's like the best guide you can get, the Coatl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they also rolled like that 1% chance that you run into Artis and Dragonbait. Artis Simber and Dragonbait. So they
Yep.
have these guys with their party, so that really helps.
I quite
Yes,
like that
totally.
town. I like the town at the start, really,
Yeah,
with the dragon racing and all that. I might just
Yeah, if I redo it, I would get rid of the death curse and just start in the town
in
at
that town.
at first level and roll with it.
Well, the
See,
death curse makes it really. I mean, there's like 70 days or something before.
I
You
know.
can't. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm just going to use it as a setting book.
Yeah,
Is
it's
this-
cool.
Sorry, Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah, you
Yes,
could totally do
exactly.
that.
Yeah. Have you checked out Descent into Avernus yet?
Yeah, we already.
That's how we got on.
Oh, you already covered. Oh, yeah. No, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, somebody is ordering it right now.
Yeah, I usually don't get I was not impressed with the Salt Marsh alternative cover, but this is so neat. The symbol
Yeah.
of ball and the Zariel.
Yeah, on the back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't like. I guess the preview I saw was like an Adventures League, like preview of it. That was like we would do like in an organized play, and I didn't like that escort refugee thing. But the backstory and the actual adventure is pretty good. So I was kind of devouring it. So I might pull the trigger and buy the Roll20 version as well.
Nice.
See if I can get people interested. So.
That's cool.
But I actually our alternate game on Thursday when all people don't show up is now Pathfinder 2. And
Oh, cool.
I said like a different person wasn't showing up. I go, oh, we can start Descent to Avernus, and someone's like, no, we want to finish Tomb of Annihilation first.
Mm.
But it's cool. It's going well. I mean, they had a good fight to get their because it's been a while since I think the last time we played because everyone was traveling over the summer was like in March.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it happens every year, right? Like that, you end up with a drop off of players as everyone's going on vacation or whatever.
Yeah, conventions and work-related things come up.
Yeah,
Totally.
But it's good. It's good to have a good, fight with lots of explosions and fighting
Heck yeah.
Red Wizards of Thay. Counterspell is kind of neat in 5e. So
Yeah.
you could, it's pretty fun to have to try to play that little chess game between your party mages and NPC mages. It's pretty fun.
I've been running Guilds of Ravnica, the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica for my son.
Oh, yeah, I
cool.
like that book.
That
It's
looks cool looking.
super fucking awesome. It reminds me of my favorite bits of Planescape and my favorite bits of Eberron all in one, where it's got...
Yeah.
I know nothing
like it.
about either of those settings really, other than what I hear, because that all passed me by.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it just seems it's just really evocative. I see them different gangs and
Totally.
factions, and just
Yeah, it's
think,
pretty neat.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, and having it all in one massive city that has all these different sub precincts, but then having the trappings of, the thing I liked about Eberron was that because the setting had more modern, trappings. So you had a press, you had mass transport. You can do more modern, sophisticated stories that you can't do in a bog standard medieval setting.
Mm-hmm.
You can do more. Yeah. Oh, I see that face, Arlen. This is absolutely... You can't do, Prisoner of Zenda in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, but can you do rescuing the Grail King in a modern setting? That's the real question.
Rescuing which?
The Grail King.
Yeah, you can.
The
Because it's still...
culmination of
This
the
is...
plan.
Yeah, because this is the stylized setting for Eberron, or what it's taking its roots from, is the interwar period.
Yeah.
So you can still do the legacy of saving the czars, or whatever. That royalty still is a thing, but it's a transition period. So it's you kind of can get to have your cake and eat it too. Though it's a lot more, it's a lot dirtier than your what do you call it? The answers aren't as clear cut, good, bad in that type
That's
of
what I
setting.
always liked about Eberron.
Totally.
So do you like a Descent into Avernus because it does have that planescapey feel, right? So
It has a
when you get
planescapey feel in the sense of that it's got monsters and shit in there, or demons
Avernus?
and devils.
No.
Yeah, that's not the thing.
the plane to me, the planescapey feel was kind of that evocative in the art of the planescape period too. It's you have these towns that are more cosmopolitan than you would think on a plane of hell, right?
Yeah.
Things are. I mean, it just looks pretty cool. It's a little slightly gonzo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I remember from Planescape. I think there's a there's a whole thing in the book that you try to find like I think it's a homage to Mad Max. You try to find like an infernal machine to drive around the plane of Avernus. So that to me is very Gonzo-ish, planescapey. So
you know what the thing is?
Has anybody?
Yeah, there's some nasty monsters.
Has anybody seen this 5e Odyssey of the Dragon Lords?
I'm waiting for my physical copy. It's not coming until November. The PDF is one of the prettiest gaming products I've ever seen.
Yeah, so it's the hidden continent of Philea,
Yeah. Wow. It's well, I mean, like when you got,
that's really cool. I like that.
It's the producers of from like two of the producers from BioWare, right? So they had it like they could pay for whatever art they needed for the thing, and then they kickstarted as well too to help pay for it. And it's I backed it because I'm like, well, I'm sure this can be kind of an interesting thing, but actually looking at it, I'm like, wow, this is when the physical copy gets here. This is something I really might want to get to the table because
interesting.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon it the other day, and
it looked pretty cool too.
Saw the maps and the artwork. I was looking, and I thought, oh boy, I'm downloading that. I need to have a little butcher's of that.
Yeah, there's a free version of the player's guide on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I've got. It. I'm just looking at it on my phone, flicking through now.
Yeah, like gamified versions of Greek myths in like that incredible modern art style. It's
modernized, right? It's like a modern. It's what's crazy is like there's like I would say 4 or 5 Greek quote unquote 5e products out there.
Yeah.
And I mean some of them are, but this one's really nice. I mean, And what I like is like the book it's not like just a world book. It's like we're gonna give you like a adventure path, and the world's kind of evolves. You learn about the world as you evolve through the adventure path.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm looking forward to the physical book. Okay, so guys, where we last left our heroes was chatting in the pub. So let's
narrowly avoiding a bar fight.
Yes, and making a new enemy as well. So let's first do this. Let's see. I know that Arter is taking it a little easier now after his first bout with Carousing. But Kane, give me a D30 roll, please. D30.
D30. Oh, now you're asking. So that's the advanced dice roller, isn't it?
Yeah, or you can just type in /roll 1D30. You could do this here in the chat. There you go. Brilliant. Okay.
No.
Would you give me a poison save, please? Or a save versus it's a death save.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So here's what it reads. You couldn't really see the rash in the candlelight.
No.
Roll a save to avoid a venereal disease.
That's about right.
Oh. So I imagine at some point it sounds like King's really not enjoying being in this city quite as much as what some of the others are, and then overhearing the way that the Second Sons are talking about it, I guess that maybe drove you to the point of overindulging and maybe having not as cautious a selection of a bed partner.
Yes, understandable.
Mm-hmm.
They've been out for a long time.
Yeah. Now,
I was clearly under the influence.
Absolutely.
Way too many beverages.
Iphigenia would be disappointed.
Okay, now let's see here.
Good thing I'm made of sterner stuff.
Definitely. Take more than a little clap to get this guy down.
Yeah.
All right. And... okay, let's see. All right. So, what do we want to do next, guys? Do you want to be chasing down Ahote's name? Do you want to go and talk to sages? Do you want to try and petition the court of Thurmond to what do you call it? To be able to purchase the land, or?
I mean, I like going to the court because it seems like an imminent thing, and we can find out information. We've got a lot of information, and we can find out more later. But up to what everybody else wants to do.
That's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
I mean, before Kane explodes and starts
Well, that's another
breaking,
potential problem.
breaking Tavern.
Okay.
Hammer.
Would everyone kindly give me a D20 roll, please? I'm looking for the highest here.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey.
Iphigenia. So, Iphigenia, what you notice after about 4 or 5 days, you're going out and you notice that you're being followed. You seem to have a shadow or stalker. Seems to go wherever you go. What that is an elderly street dog with a gray snout and one eye that's been following you around.
Okay.
And it seems to be going everywhere you go. It waits for you outside of wherever you are and then follows you to the next. It stays about a half block away, but you have noticed that this seems to be, happening. Do you think you did something to warrant this attention, or is it just, it's taken a liking to you for whatever?
I bathed. I mean, I should
You
be.
bathe?
I should be okay.
Did you bathe in bacon?
Yeah, I kind of smell myself, and do I still have the dander from the tundra cat or the horse? Right, because I try to visit Abraxas and Preda every day.
Okay.
But Preda being my tundra tiger and Abraxas being my horse.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I kind of try to approach it.
Yeah.
Maybe I become like a attractor, which is bizarre. I don't know why a necromancer would do that. So I'm going to try to approach it.
Yeah. And you're able to walk right up to this
See if it
thing.
runs away or-
It's looking at you with
offer
its
food.
one good eye. Quite happily takes the food from you.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So what I asked, I go, okay. So dog, why are you following me?
it kind of looks up, and the tail's going.
You've seen a lot of weird things. So okay.
Its tail keeps wagging. I think I'm picturing kind of like an Irish wolfhound, like
Yeah, that's what I
rangy, long. But it's missing one eye. It's
Right.
the other eye is kind of it, and it's not young, but it's
Right.
certainly seems devoted to you.
Okay. So are you lost? Do you have a master? Can you take me to him? Maybe it's following me for a reason.
Tail's wagging as he's
But if
looking.
not, then tag along.
Okay. If
What's
you
that?
when you
Timmy's
get up and
at
walk, this thing now walks basically like at your heels.
Are dogs allowed in taverns?
Yep. Just giant feral cats or not.
Yeah.
It also depends on who the person is. You're a pretty imposing lady, so at least at the Dragon's Rest, I mean.
Yeah, she is.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what?
guess
The dog probably is not, because this thing does look like a pretty. But I mean, it'll wait outside for you, the same as it has been doing.
Okay.
Or you
That's
could
cool.
sneak it in. Or...
I mean, I definitely want to make sure that it's in good health. At least get it washed if it is amenable to that, and
Yeah.
get it. Obviously there's no like flea dip, but
Yeah.
get it cleaned off
Sure.
and fed. It was probably a little mangy and
Okay.
malnourished.
Yeah, it's this thing seems to have had it no doubt has had a rough run of things. It's filthy, it's missing some teeth. It's got that missing eye, but it's still pretty strong and pretty it seems like it'll be a boon companion. That was our random encounter from
There you go.
Little Fantasy King.
Nice.
Well, maybe perhaps she is blessed by Artemis, though she's never really given her any whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the goddess. So
Okay. So then, yeah, that's what happens, and then forgive me, guys. Which are we next pursuing? The sage. So you got sages. The court. Yes, right. So the way the court works is kind of once every couple of days, Thane Thurman will hold court, and anyone who kind of wants to petition all goes in there. Let's move back to the map of Thule here. Here we go. Okay, and it's in the actual keep itself, so that you can see on the day of the... is it called a thing? A thing is the group meeting, right?
Yeah.
For Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the day of the thing of Thurman's thing. There's some alliteration for you. The,
that sounds racy.
it really does. So you guys all arrive at the thing, and the crowd is a mixed group of, a lot of there's some merchants that are there, no doubt from some of the Chromarium Mercantile League, I think is what it was called. There are a lot more exotic faces than what you maybe would expect here. There are some Lemurians with their more Asiatic features. There are some swarthy-skinned Ixians and some other Vikings, as well as some no doubt members of the the Chromarium aristocracy. And I think you're with a group of other armored and perfumed and kind of not perfumed, but well-appointed nobles is your friend, Kane.
Yes, I suspected as much.
So then, once the once sort of the appointed time is reached, you guys. Someone walks out and with this long staff with a sigil on the end, and pow, and the announces in Old Norse something. And then the only words, if you guys don't speak Old Norse, the only words you make out are Thane Thurmond. And what you see walking out first is probably Thurman's wife. But it's a woman who's about middle-aged, maybe like mid-30s, late 30s, who is dressed like a noblewoman. Long blonde hair, big blue eyes, followed by a wrinkled, kind of slightly hunched, figure with a scrabbly kind of beard that's not quite grown in properly. He looks like he's probably in his... maybe 70s. Greasy hair that's kind of clinging to his scalp, and these big, kind of almost like oversized eyes that seem to bulge out. And you guys would guess that this would be Rangval the Trout. He makes his way over to a seat, and then the last person to come out is Thane Foxbeard, Thane Thurmond. And he's so called because his beard he's got this long beard, and the beard is red up to a certain point, and then it's white. So hence he gets the name Foxbeard. So, Thane Thurmond comes and sits, and then his once he sits down, the Rangvald kind of studies the crowd. You guys can feel his, the force of his stare as he's kind of taking in everyone who's there. And it's kind of a... I think it's sort of a, whoever goes first kind of thing at this. It's expected whoever has the standing will go first, or whoever's the loudest. And I think that people have different ideas as to, how to prioritize. At least that's what you guys have heard. Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good, Carl. Okay, so Iphigenia is going to hang back during this scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then, So then you hear Rangvald say in this croaking kind of old man voice, "The first petitioner." And unless you guys jump forward, someone will jump in first.
Well, who do we want to have speak for us?
I know
I think we
Kane.
discussed that on the way there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would pick Kane just to speak for
Yeah, that
us.
sounds good to me
but-
too. if Kane's
Well, these
Kane's
people
willing.
respect strength and honor, and that's kind of Kane's wheelhouse, right?
He's also more charismatic than me for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is for the claim on the key.
Iron Fang, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we
Iron
want to
Fang.
offer them some money to make a claim that we are the ones who cleared it out in the first place and made it safe. Destroyed the Beastmen at his rightful hours, and we're willing to pay for whatever it costs. Officially,
I'm no
take the
diplomat. I'm no diplomat, but
Yeah, well,
well,
fair point.
I can. He's not too bright.
Do you want somebody else?
Okay.
So
I
does
figure
somebody else?
Malo and Amar have the best, probably, they're the best faces of the group, right? They have the.
I
don't
could
know.
potentially do it. Will, what is Mars'
Uh,
charisma?
Yeah, I don't
Iphigenia's
have any
gonna-
modifiers. It's just a 12.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I
same.
thought they
Pres-
did.
Presumably, we
Not a nice person.
See, this is what happened
presumably
after
we
we
could
lost our base berserker.
I know.
could step up.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
mean,
but
I could-
Archer's from here though, so maybe he can.
Arter does not speak the language, though.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the thing.
uh,
North.
Oh, right. I don't speak
When
Farsi
Rangval
either.
speaks, it's in the common tongue. When he's called for
Oh, okay,
petitioners,
great.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
the court is held, or the thing is held in
cool.
common, not in Old Norse.
Well,
Well,
I think that's,
Arthur could certainly introduce Kane if we want to do that. Have Kane be our sort of main diplomat, and I could say
yeah.
something.
Well, let's do that. I mean, do we have? I mean, we have like artifacts that we collected, like Beastmen, not heads, obviously, Beastmen teeth or anything. But I think that's-
I don't recall you guys taking anything.
no one took
Yeah.
any trophies.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Don't do that.
I didn't.
Okay. So this conversation would have happened before you guys went into court. So let's
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
out
yeah.
kind of how you're going to what your
Well, I'll
approach
do
is.
it.
Like.
I
I
think-
don't mind. I don't mind doing it. I think Arter, give me a big build up or something, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll stand up there and I'll go for the forthright approach.
Okay. Now, do you guys try and jump like as one of the first applicants, or do you let some other people kind of warm the court up first, and then you jump in when you see an opportunity? What do you think?
Maybe we should see how it's done and take our cue from.
Mm.
Yeah, I was
That's a good
That's a
idea.
good idea.
you know,
Yeah.
figure out how you actually do this thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Get the
So-
procedures down.
The
But
way
don't
it
let
seems to
the-
go is that you guys, so like the petitioner will make the petition, they'll, make their request of the Thane, and then if anyone, Rangval then gives anyone an opportunity to speak to what counter, or does anyone else have an interest in this? And then they may speak as well, too. So you witness kind of like, one of the things that, the first thing that goes up is the, is there are a group of Ixian merchants who seem to be based out of the Caravanserai, who are still pursuing some kind of claim against the Thane himself for his men sinking that ship, with the one when the one damaged by those raiders, those giant raiders.
So that was that ship that was attacked by the giants, the Titanic people. That was controlled by the Thane, or part
That's
of
what
the
this guy's
Thane's-
arguing, is that because they were commissioned by the Thane, it's their, it's the responsibility lies on him to make these Ixians whole.
It's the old common law, isn't it?
Yeah. And at present, so the what that sort of ends up being decided on, or at least, is that it's going to be postponed again because the salvage operations are still underway, so they don't know, and until that's decided, the Thane can't decide one way or the other whether it should be.
They can't work out their loss.
Yeah, and one of the guys who looks really, really fucked up. He seems to be one of the survivors. Like his leg is nearly completely destroyed. It's still bandaged up. He still has the signs of wounding. He's one of the survivors of the ship, and what he says is that the Ixians got in their way. That this is a ploy by them to try and and shame us. There isn't a lot of weight necessarily given by it, but you get the sense that there is some resentment towards the Ixians in the court, definitely. Once that sort of plays out itself, there's one or two other petitions, but you do get a sense of this is how things kind of work here. So whenever you guys have a moment, there is a lull in kind of the last one, and then Rangvald again says, "The next petitioner."
Okay, I'll nudge Arter, nudge him.
Yeah, so Arter will step forward and say, "My Thane and my lord Rangvald the Trout, I..."
Just go. Yeah, they don't. That's what everyone calls him behind his back.
Oh, whoops.
Good start.
That's the way to start.
Yeah, perfect.
I think. Well, you tell me. Do you think your character would have known that, or?
I think he would have known and forgotten in the moment.
I love that. Yeah.
Pressure on him.
Yeah, you get a point of astonishing fortune for
as he
that.
says it, realizes, oh shit.
Yeah, so this is kind of like, and you hear from somewhere in the back of the court this, "Ha!"
It's awesome.
Yeah, I know who that is. I recognise that laugh.
bring forward a petitioner to you for the purchase of a deed to an abandoned keep in the wilderness that has been cleared by these fine gentlemen. And my Sir Kane, the warrior, the mighty.
And up I stand.
Okay,
Up I stand.
awesome
I bow
new
to the
plate armor on with the.
Yeah.
Have you decided what animal is on there? I think there's one obvious one.
horses, I think maybe, or what's
Rawr!
your... Oh, tigers,
Yeah, lion, right?
lions.
Because of the Wemmick?
Bears.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that
Oh
was
my!
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, lions. That's good. Yeah, and bravery and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to become Kane the lion.
Kane the Lionhearted.
Cool.
Nice. I love it.
Kane the Lionheart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you stride forward with this beautiful new armor on, that massive, impressive, dwarf crafted hammer at your side. And what do you say?
I say, I won't bore you with many words. Our business here is quite simple. To the, is it the northwest?
Southwest.
Southwest.
Southwest, okay.
Yeah.
To the southwest of here lies a place we petition a claim for, goes by the name of Iron Fang Keep. We have rid it of beastmen.
And you hear some stammering from the side of the kind of the court, and it's your buddy, the idiot, and says, Sir, Thane, this is quite preposterous. We've discussed this at great length before. Anyone have let's see here.
Is this legit? Can he just butt in like that? Or
No,
can I
so that's
call
good.
him-
No, you've not seen anyone else do this. Everyone takes their fucking turn. This guy seems to think he can talk over you.
Okay, I'm gonna look to the Thane
Yeah.
and give him a serious look.
Okay.
Like maybe just like raise my eyebrows a little bit, as if looking to him to intervene before I say something for myself. I'm just giving him the chance.
Okay, so he looks, he meets your, for one thing, he actually had a little bit of a bemused look on his face when he heard the Rangvald the Trout. Rangvald certainly did not, but the Thurman himself seemed to be a little bemused by it. But he looks at you, and he looks at the guy who's speaking up, and it seems as if he's gonna, he's not giving away one way or the other. Maybe he's trying to see how you handle this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So he says, as the guy who steps out, he says, "This is, you know me, sir. So I am Sir Arcadius Blasavarius of the Blasavarius line. We have spilled blood and treasure trying to reclaim and cleanse this land. This..."
And I thank you to wait your turn, my friend. I was speaking. If you've got a problem with that, we can settle it after the meeting.
Okay. You see the trout kind of leans forward in his chair, his big bug eyes, you know, kind of looking down.
Sir Blasavarius will wait and honor the customs of this thing.
And that kind of, when he says thing, it echoes through the halls. And this tall, you know, blonde kid kind of looks suitably chastened. Mm-hmm. And he does not look pleased. Like, you can see color beginning to go up from his neck into his ears. He steps back, leaving you center point before the Thane.
Okay, so I'll just nod at the trout and the Thane with like a gesture of gratitude, a respectful nod. And as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we have a claim on this said keep. We've cleared it of vile beast creatures. We would like to make an offering to the Thane for a legal deed granting us claim on said keep and surrounding area. What say the assembled?
So the trout kind of waits for you to finish, and then he, like, kind of looking through you almost at, like, out at the rest of the crowd.
Are there any others who would speak to this?
And at that, you know, his face now completely flush red. Sir Blasavarius steps forward. "I will have something to say about this. This is preposterous. This court has heard that we have spilled so much effort to seize those lands, and even as recently as within the last fortnight, we have ranged out there and found the lands now doubly infested with bestial things, horrible, unholy things, fusions of man and beast." And you can see that, again, he's got that skinned hide on his back. "My men are certainly up to this task, but to suggest that these strangers would come in and seek to then simply by declaring it cleared, as if the keep is cleared, they're liars, liars." And he looks at you with these, you know, steely blue eyes, and with complete conviction. "I call them liars. They would lie to you, Thane. This task is not completed. It is not. If you take their money, you take it for an empty promise. We will bring order to this land. Me, for House Blasavarius, and for you, Thane Thurmond." And he does this long, flourishing bow, and looks at you guys as if like, "Ha!" And then kind of steps away. Once he steps away, the trout says, "Anything further?" And this is your opportunity to kind of rebut that, whatever he had to say.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. Your man there with the mouth is not going to stand up here and call me and my friends and companions, brothers in arms, liars in front of this thing. I demand that he steps up here and calls me a liar to my face. And if he wants to bring some arms to assist him in that task, be my guest. If he doesn't want to come and face me now in single combat, then I'll wish him to retract that statement.
So you hear from finally Thurmond actually speaks, and he's got this like big bassy kind of voice, and he says, "A challenge," and it echoes through,
indeed.
and you start hearing the sound of like whack, 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 whack. His guards are all beating their their weapons against the boss on their shields. Whack, 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 whack. It's just filling the hall. And Rangvald sort of looks over at Thurmond, and you think for a second maybe there's a look of displeasure on his face. And then he looks back at you all.
A challenge.
Oh, no, so that's no, that is Thurmond's voice.
A challenge has been issued. What say you, Sir Blasavarius?
And Arcadius Blasvarius steps forward and says, "This challenge from this wretch is accepted." And just kind of this cheer up from in there. And the Rangvald says, "To the square!" And the whole crowd is kind of like, "Ah!" and cheering for this. This seems to be something they may have been waiting for. So,
Yeah.
so you guys, yeah, the whole crowd is kind of like, collecting and making their way out towards the, in the courtyard here. There will be there is a small circle, and in there it's exactly what this is a traditional Viking duel, so you will have 2-3 shields, and then you either submit or you die. So what we're going to do is you will be able to wear your armor, you'll be able to wear your weapons. Each hit that does, we'll say, over 6 points of damage will break 1 shield. And then we will, once you break a shield, you need to stop fighting and get your new shield. If you lose all 3 shields, you must either yield or then fight to the death. Whoever yields is determined to be the gods have deemed them to be in the right. I think this is sort of in a rush. Well, hold on. Let's hear. No one is a Viking. So maybe like when you get out there, Kane, do you think you would have been familiar with that? Or are you having to have that explained to you?
I probably would need that explained to me.
Okay.
I'm from the country, man.
Sure, yeah. So you get out there, like, let's go! And you're like, wait, why do I don't need 3 shields to do this. And someone says no, and sort of, it's one of the guards, I think, who explains this to you. And he says, you understand.
So I've got to fight with... Do I have to fight with these shields?
Yes.
Because I've got none of that going on.
None of the... You can fight without... I mean, if you are... What that means is just that he will try to kill you.
Because I've got my great hammer.
Yeah, and I don't think you can really... you kind of have... Like, that's the format of this duel, is breaking the shields.
So, I mean, I don't know...
So I'm trying to think of magical weapons that we have that can be one-handed, and I don't know if we have any.
What about that flail? That magical flail?
The flail that I have is two-handed. It does ignore the opponent's AC bonus from his shield, so if you're trying to get around his shield, that might be useful, but...
Do they have common weapons available?
Yeah, oh yeah. They'll have, like, there's an axe and there's a sword that you could draw.
Are you allowed to switch weapons mid-combat? Like, use the sword and shield for a little while, and then after all the shields break, say, you know what, get a two-handed hammer it?
No.
I can lend you my scimitar, which is +2.
How will I get on with wielding a sword?
Oh,
you're a fighter, right?
Yeah, you're a fighter, so, like, you're just not specialized in it. So you
okay.
You're level 4? Is that right?
Sounds about right. Yeah, level 4, yeah.
Level 4, okay. So then that means you would have, your combat rating is or fighting ability is gonna be 4. So your Thaka would be 16. So,
with a magical scimitar.
Attack rate's 1.
That's a +2.
Yeah, be +1. You know what I'll do here? Let's just quickly add that to your character sheet here.
Yeah.
That seems like the way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take that and you will...
And I'll get a better armor class because of the shield, of course.
You will, yeah.
Is there like any provision against magic, or do you get to do it?
Yeah, that would
On the
be
fly,
if you're
or-
caught doing that. That would be very, very, very. You're interfering with the will of the gods. What is the class of the scimitar?
Scimitar is a class
2.
2.
Class
Yeah.
2. Okay, attack rate is 1. Attack modifier is +1. Damage is what?
It's a +2. It's a +2 scimitar.
Oh, +2. Holy shit.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, and what is the damage of the scimitar?
Damage one-handed is.
Oh, there we go. 1d8
Yep.
+2.
Yeah, I was putting it in.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm wondering, like,
Nice.
have I learned how to make computers work with my mind?
Yeah, man.
This is
you're
an
getting
incredible
good. Yeah,
ability.
getting good, man.
Correlation does not mean causation, Kev.
All right.
Okay, so you get that thing out, and your AC will currently be a with these shields. Hold on, let's see here. Okay, we need something a little more stirring for a Viking duel. Hold on here. Let's see. Whew, and here's what I got. Oh, I'll wait. I got a terrific sound cue for this. All right, let's see here. Is this one? No, that's just the battle. Let's see.
You want to borrow the wolf helm?
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna borrow my wolf helm that gives you a +1 AC.
Nice.
Is
Okay.
it a small shield or a large shield? I guess it doesn't matter because there's the same in melee. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay. Both give what, +1?
Both are +1 melee.
Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna nip. I just need to nip to the toilet. whilst you guys fit me up with
Yeah.
some good
Yeah,
stuff.
between all of us, you know,
Right. We're
running
kind of.
around,
Yeah.
like, you know, in the corner of a boxing ring or something. I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passing
It's like
out
it's like
equipment that's magical.
You got him! You got him, Kane!
I know. I have that. I have that cantrip True Strike, but it's probably a bad idea to
Probably
try
a
to.
bad idea to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Very bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if
And
they,
then we
if they
get Kane.
after Kane beats this guy up and they take issue, then we'll probably have to kill him. He and his men, which I'm fine with.
Possibly. Yeah. As long as they start it.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
you get your burning hands, and I'll get the scythe ready. And
Yep.
So you'll spend
Amar
one
just-
week in
Amar just sneak
Tuleborg,
behind him,
and then you're driven out.
Amar and break their neck.
And fuck your town. I don't need your town.
Oh man, Amar just pull out the radium gun and start.
Yeah.
Throw him back.
Nice. It's what he called it, Mars attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the Thane now.
Kung Fu laser blast.
All right.
I got a bunch of constitution. I feel like I should be going for the long game, yeah, somehow. But
Okay, and I'm going to show you what he's dressed in. Yeah, there we go. And there we are, guys.
Oh, no. Flashbacks.
Yeah. Sir Arcadius Blasivarius. I need to load more images of knights in my library, but
Well, this comes with its own, scare.
Yeah.
Previous.
but this guy. So what?
encounters.
In place of that white furred robe, he's got the big, orange, brownish orange Wemmick hide on him. So he squares off. He has a what looks like a very beautiful long sword, in his hand, and he gets his shield, and he's in his corner of the or side of the circle. He does some of these like kind of practice swings, getting himself ready. And there's a small little raised kind of like earthen platform where Thane Thurmond, Rangval the Trout, and the Thurmond's wife have all taken their seats. And is there any last minute kind of pep talk or anything you guys want to tell Kane before he jumps into one-on-one combat with this thing?
I just put my hand on his shoulder and say, "We're all with you out there."
Don't fucking lose.
I have no intention of
the
losing.
shaggy
gentlemen.
gray dog kind of barks as well.
Yep.
I'll just stroke the dog, give it a grin.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so you
And
stand
I'm
in.
not waving. I'm not waving anything about. I'm just standing there,
Yeah. So you stand there,
staring at the
your
guy, staring him
scimitar in
out.
one hand. He gets out there. He places the helm on his head. You can barely see his eyes through it. Looks at you, and then clank, clank, hits the sword against the shield, indicating he's ready.
Yeah, I'll just copy that.
Clank, clank. The whole crowd kind of cheers up, and you guys go rushing in. Now, let me grab my big dice. Colin, would you kindly give me a D6 roll? This is your initiative roll.
Okay.
Come on. You can do it. Not bad.
Middle of the road.
Ah.
He is faster than you. So he comes in, shield his sword up, and swings it. Oh man. He actually misses with his initial stroke. It clips your shield, you go to batter it aside, but it does not break. Your turn, what are you doing?
I am gonna, as he swings wildly, I slice under his unprotected arm there.
Okay, here it comes. Oh.
Nice.
No, it's he swing and he batters it away, and then he makes his second attack. Because he is quite skilled with a longsword. Oof. Your AC is a...
So 1.
A 1
Zero.
right now.
Zero with the helm.
Zero with the
one
helm.
with the
Okay, so I actually need to do this here. So 0
It's a
means...
3 minus 1
Yeah.
for the shield, minus 1 for the helm.
So it's good enough for him to hit. Blank. Let's see if he does enough to break the shield. Not. Your shield cracks, but it does not break.
Okay.
End of the first round. You guys circle to the edge. Your shield looks ready, like a strong wind would take this thing apart at this point. Let's roll initiative.
Yeah.
There we go. If you just push your up arrow, it'll give you the same roll again.
All right.
Okay.
And he is coming in fast and fierce this time. Both attacks first. Misses with the first, a clumsy stroke that you easily avoid. And with the second one, he misses too.
Right.
Your turn. Kane, go ahead and make your attack roll.
So have I got 2 attacks?
You have 2 attacks this round.
Oh,
No,
oh shit, I mean,
one.
he's got one more, yeah. So I'll do that after your attacks. Go ahead and make your first attack.
Missed. And another attack.
Yes, please. Yeah,
Yep.
2.
That's about.
Oh, you have the scimitar, don't you?
Yeah,
Oh
you've got
Christ!
it.
I'm rolling the wrong thing.
But I think a 15. Hold
15
on.
is definitely enough to hit, and
Yeah.
there's no way that he can do not enough damage to break the shield.
Okay, so then you bring that scimitar around and it shatters the shield in his hand. The whole crowd. Ah! He staggers back. He
Nice.
spares a look back at you, and he doesn't say anything. He strides over and then angrily takes the second shield from his second.
I'll just be nodding. I'll just be staring at him like nodding. Yeah, man. You take the shield.
So
You
you're
take that second
pacing on the
shield.
one side of this thing. He gets the shield, narrows, or kind of looks down. So he's looking at you just through that narrow slit of his helmet. Clank,
Yeah,
clank.
Call me a fucking liar. Clank, clank.
Okay, and you guys are going in. Let's.
Colin, don't forget you have Astonishing Fortune.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
2 of them bad boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Colin, go ahead and give me a D6 roll, please.
Oh.
Oh.
What's your dexterity?
My dexterity is pretty good.
It's 13.
Nice! You get, yeah. So you get to attack first. Single attack.
Boom.
Here it comes.
I just feint to one side and bob and weave a little bit.
Yep.
Slash.
Ooh, so close. Not quite enough, and he returns with 2 vicious slashes. One of which you are able to get out of the way. The other strikes true, shatters the shield, leaving your arm numb. And he kind of turns and it's like, yeah! Yeah! And the crowd is cheering for him now. You look back, and
I just roll my eyes.
Okay. So you head over.
Nice.
Who is going to hand him his shield?
Amar will.
You will. Okay.
Yes.
So you, your shield is out. You take this.
Yeah, I just nod at Amar, nod my thanks.
Okay. You turn back.
Give him a wink.
As soon
Wink
as
to the
you,
eye.
as soon as you turn around, clank, clank.
I'm not clanking yet. I'm letting it sweat a little. Just gonna take a big deep breath, adjust my shield a little bit, wipe a bit of sweat off,
Yeah.
do the old tennis player thing, and
Nice.
yeah, roll my head from side to side, stretch my neck out a little bit. Then I just gently clank my shield.
Nice. The crowd cheers again. Go ahead and roll your initiative. And double attack rate this time. Ooh, tied
Nice.
again.
All right.
So near simultaneously, you guys bring your weapons in. Go ahead. You get 2 attacks this time, Kane.
Okay.
First.
Right.
Wide. You bring it back a second time.
Nice.
Whoa!
That was a feint. That first one was a feint.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing. He used a parry this time. So you go in and bang! The scimitar, you know, with the serpentine design, bang! Hits his sword, and he staggers back. You know, the shield up, the sword in kind of a stabbing motion. That's the extent of his action. He doesn't actually attack you this round. He went defensive.
Interesting.
So he stands back. You guys begin to slowly circle around. When you guys are circling too, the only thing you can hear is the sound of the, you know, the earthen, you know, surface beneath your feet, the crunch and grit of that. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Hey. Damn.
So he comes in with a series of quick blows. He comes in, stabs to try to get you to get your opening, and then swings, and then swings. One of them does connect. And nearly shatters your shield. 1 hit point left of the shield. Your turn. What are you doing?
I just counter thrust straight away. Boom.
Go.
Ugh.
Oh, you have astonishing
He's
fortune.
astonished. He's astonished.
Yeah, reroll.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Oh shit! Swing, and he's not. I think he knocked you off balance. So you get back, and then he again takes that sort of defensive stance. Let's roll initiative. You are easily faster than him.
Oh,
Go ahead. 2 attacks. What are you doing?
I'm just laying into him.
Okay.
Boom.
Roll 20 as a sense of the dramatic today.
Yeah.
Boom! Smashed.
Oh,
Nice! So the first one, he again like knocks aside from his sword, but you anticipated that, and you spin around and bam! You send him actually staggering about 10 feet away, because he was not seeing this coming. His shield is on the ground in flinders, and again the crowd. Ah!
Yeah, this time I'm gonna let loose a roar. I'm gonna go, roar!
Ah!
Get you in there.
Everyone is the crowd is just crazy. He is now cursing. Sir Arcadius has tossed the remnants of his shield to the ground, kicks it out of the square, and he stomps over and then grabs that last shield. And this time it's him actually pacing back and forth. You have an opportunity to clink first if you want, or you want to wait for him.
I'll clink.
Okay, clink, and the crowd's ah! And with the big embossment of the lion on your armor too, you can hear people beginning to chant, "Lion, lion, lion, lion."
awesome.
Lion.
So you turn back. He finally manages to catch himself. He stops, looks down, looks up, clink, clink, and then begins coming directly towards you. Okay, go ahead and roll initiative. Nice. But it beats my 2. Okay, you get first attack. And you have 1 attack this round.
Boom!
So that's also max damage. What does it look
Back
like?
on your ass.
Yeah, he shattered. So he comes racing in, expecting to find it. What do you sort of like spin around and then carry the momentum through with the scimitar?
Yeah, I think he definitely gets caught off balance.
Yep.
I think I maybe duck one way, duck the other way. He's so slow. I reckon he lost it in the last round.
Yeah.
He's probably his head spinning, and yeah,
Okay.
I'll just throw him off totally.
Yeah, you knock him off. He hits the ground, and in fact, his helmet actually falls off as well too. So he kind of is looking, and you are standing over him. He's got this, he's gripping the sword still, and kind of like trying to decide what to do. What do you do?
He's due to yield at this point, isn't he, or die?
You have to give him an opportunity to yield. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got the scimitar at his throat. Then clearly.
Okay, so you step forward like as fast as you can. He's gonna. What do you say?
Yeah. Where's his sword? I want to make sure he ain't gonna give me no sneaky jab with that sword.
Yeah, his
Or
sword
stand
is,
on his arm or something.
Okay, so you stand on his arm. Ah! What do you say?
Yield or die, motherfucker.
He looks up, looks back at his allies, looks up at you. I yield! I yield!
Everybody hear that?
Yeah.
I look to the trout and the Thane, make sure it's all official.
Yeah. The Thane has a smirk on his face. He has one corner of his white mustache is kind of is arced up. And the Thane, his voice is unfortunately drowned out by the cheering. But the trout says,
The gods have spoken.
and the thing will reconvene. And you're sort of escorted, you're wearing plate mail, so you can't really be lifted up. But there's tons of, people hitting you, ah! And the crowd is still, lion, lion, lion! And cheering as you go in.
You should take that cloak. We need to give it proper burial.
The cloak.
His cloak.
Oh yeah. I'll snap. Has he got that? I'll snap
Yeah.
that off him. Yeah, you won't be needing that, murdering bastard.
Okay, and I think he thinks for a second of trying to do something, but clearly the tide.
I'll just growl at him at that point if he even moves.
Yeah. Okay, so you take you have his hide cloak now, and you guys reconvene back in the there's quite a bit of cheering, and then once everyone has made their way back in, the hall is still kind of cheering and whatever, and then there's the trout sort of makes a gesture. And all the guards in the thing kind of clank, clank, hit their weapons against their shield, and slowly people kind of, settle down.
Yeah.
And we're back to
Well, we
silence.
still pay him. We still pay him the money, right? So, yeah, you agree?
Well, all of that has determined is the I'll let Rangvald speak for it. So Rangvald says, or the Trout speaks, and says,
The trial by combat is complete. The gods have spoken. You, Cain, the lion, you speak the truth.
and he looks over at Rangvald, and Rangvald is kind of deciding what to do. He leans in.
If you seized that keep, why travel here? Do you hold it?
We do not hold it currently because we're here, but we...
You hear, ha! From the back, and you can look over, and it's Sir Arcadius.
Sir Arcadius.
The same guy?
Same guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's still in here.
I'm gonna just turn around and look at him. Are you fucking joking me, man? What? What the hell is up with you?
You hear
come
clank,
back up
clank.
here and I'll whoop
The
your
Trout
ass
says,
again.
You have been addressed by the Thane.
Damn fool. We currently have allies keeping an eye on the place. It is our intention to come here, speak to you, your lordship, get your approval for the as we detailed previously, for the occupation and the right to the territory and the keep, and then we intend to go back there and further tame the wilderness.
He looks down at you. You are new to my lands.
Indeed.
And let me tell you how things work in Thurman's lands. Thurman's men prove what they have, that they have the metal to keep things given in my name. When you have this keep, then I will discuss the lands.
That seems fair enough, and we have no problem with that. Grateful for your time and understanding in this matter, and we will shortly report that we have it in our possession, and we'll seek an audience again at that time.
Prove yourself. Prove yourself worthy of your namesake, Cain the Lion. And the Rangvald again says,
Do any speak to this matter?
and I imagine, Cain, you whip around and look directly at where Sir Arcadius is.
Yeah, waiting for him to say something so that I can
Yeah.
shut his mouth.
He and his allies are sort of muttering to each other. It seems that they're talking about something. You know the look of plotting when you hear it. And they seem to be kind of looking, and they seem to be reassuring Arcadius. Arcadius is just glaring at you. Those blue eyes just, full of hate. But however, they do not say anything. No, neither does anyone else. And then, that is what if no one else says. Since no one else says anything, Rangvald says,
Then the matter is decided. The Thane has spoken.
He bang bang hits the staff against the ground again.
Does anyone else have matters before this thing?
And you hear again, someone else kind of steps forward. Oh, my lord! And they, the next petitioner is sort of up and is being heard. What do you guys want to do, or what happens next?
Will I return all the loaned out belongings with my compliments to the owners?
Yeah.
That's a fine scimitar, Amar. Very nice. Saved me from a sticky situation, and likewise this wolf helm. And what else did I have?
You fought well.
Thank you.
Okay. So
He's a pompous,
give him,
he's a
like,
pompous
money?
fool. That man is a pompous fool.
what was that, Carl?
So is there still a back channel that we have to pay this guy money, or the Trout money, or the wife money? Like, I guess, I don't know what it's called. Right? Like, we put a claim down, we have to prove it, but we still got to give them a down payment to put our name like.
Not a down payment, no.
Okay.
If you seize it, then you'll pay for it. What he's, what you've heard, and this is sort of consistent with what he doesn't like grant. It's not like, here's a parcel of land I've given you. Now go and do something with it. It's like, go and do something with this land, and then you'll pay me to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly puts the onus on them to actually go and do stuff. And that seems to be what Thane Thurman's master plan here is. Force dangerous men and women to go out and civilize this land for him, or at least tame it. So, the thing, you guys leave the thing, and so we know now with your little dog companion as well. Carl, go ahead.
So, I mean, do the Wemmicks have like things that they could trade? Because we could probably try to amass allies for our cause, like the Ixian traders. Just to, not just cut things down and clear out land, but make it worthwhile for Tuleborg and the people of Tuleborg to, do the arranging prides have things that they could trade that people would want here?
Not necessarily. I mean, what the ranging prides do have is they have allies. Because remember that as favors for the Tulian, the ranging prides, they can afford introductions to the Frostwood Circle, to the Borean Rangers, or the Misthunters. So it means they seem to have other factions. They seem to have some kind of relationship with them.
Okay. Have some allies that we could talk to.
We're also going to need to hire some people to man the keep whenever we leave. Yeah. So we might want to round up some people in Tuleborg. We have the funds to hire people for enough time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So then, let's see here. We're still 20 minutes off from end, but let's talk about plans for what your immediate plans are going to be. You still have not. You guys have been. Maybe describe for me how have you guys been asking around about the Tulian Rangers.
I think the objective was to try to get in touch with the Borean Rangers here in Tuleborg if there is a place to go physically, and petition to meet with them and have a full kind of comprehensive discussion. If we can tell them what we know, and ideally in exchange they'll provide us with information that we need. So I think that would be one thing.
Okay. So let me do this here. Because the Borean Rangers, unsurprisingly, the Rangers don't spend an awful lot of time in Tuleborg.
That's what I figured.
Okay. However, it appears that you may have been in luck. So you guys have been asking around about these, these Rangers. What are you saying as you're looking for these guys? I want to know how much information, what sort of information would be reaching their ears.
Yeah, I think that we don't show off any devices or anything. We don't show off these discs or anything, but we say that we've encountered ancient artifacts and we describe them. So we're not, it's clear we're not making it up. So that if it gets back to them, they'll be like, oh, that's legit. And
You're saying you've
we need to-
encountered artifacts, or you've got artifacts?
I'm afraid to say we've got them to put a target on our backs, in case anybody who is interested in them. So I can say we've encountered them. We know where they are.
Okay.
And we wanted to tell the Borean Rangers what these things are and get their advice on how to handle it.
Okay. You know what I'll do is where's my Osric? Oh, it's way at the bottom. Fuck that. It's way at the bottom of a stack. I ain't gonna try and dig that out for now. Give me a sec here. I want to see something. In here.
Because guys, I think it is the plan. We're gonna head back out to Iron Fang Keep as our next sort of mission.
Yeah, it seems like.
I know we still want to find out anything we can about those ghosts that were there.
Right.
Right. Well, I wanted to go talk to the Ixian necromancers about that.
We're going to talk to your necromancer.
Combining, trying to establish an alliance with them. I mean, I know they're not the nicest people, but they could be a counter to these armed adults that we're now enemies with.
So the Ixian necromancers.
I'm a worshiper of Sun.
Just as to give you context, Ixian necromancers are among the most loathed of people anywhere in Hyperborea. They are slavers. They are unrepentant necromancers. They are very, very scary guys. Think of like the what is it, the GRU in Cold War, or the KGB in Cold War Russia or East Germany. It's like you hope you don't get the attention of the necromancers. So I mean that doesn't mean that your character couldn't still. She's made of she's a hero. She's made of stern stuff and whatnot. She could certainly pursue that, but
she's a necromancer.
She is a necromancer, but that doesn't mean she's one of the Ixian necromancers.
No.
Right. So that's just so you understand. There's there's a reason that giant, black edifice that is their tower is somewhere that people don't even want to look at for too long because it's for fear of drawing their attention, or worse, their wrath. But the what we'll say is, because I think you will spend a little bit of money at the Sages or at the Sages Guild as well, right?
Yes.
Because they do fortunately offer lots of insight for what do you call it? For pay services.
Yeah. Right.
Over here. Transport.
And we definitely want to find out, in addition, whatever we can about this keep and its origins, which maybe potentially would tell us about those ghosts and who they might be, and how to rid ourselves of them.
Sure.
Or turn them to our allies.
So I think that we can pick up this. I'm just trying to find the cost of engaging the sage, but I'm not going to do the voice because it's going to be a little too racist for me to do that. But you can picture the sage that they encountered. I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark recently again, and the
I
guy.
Just saw it at the theater.
Okay, yeah, the old guy that they consult and take away one kadam.
Yes,
that's how I'm picturing this guy. But I am not doing that accent.
I think that's a smart idea.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
What do I think I am? Our prime minister?
Oh, geez. That was surprising.
Yep, you guys don't hold the market on embarrassing world leaders.
Apparently not.
Oh man. Okay. Where is it here? I was just looking at hirelings. It's right at the start of the tactical thing, isn't it? tactical chapter.
Are you in the main rule book?
Yeah, I'm in the main rulebook. I think it's in the first. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. So a sage, boy oh boy. So monthly cost is 1,000 GP. Prorate that down by 10 is 100 by 3. So it's gonna be about 30 gold to consult with this guy.
I mean, I'm willing to pay it.
Yeah, that's.
But that's 30 per person, Kev.
No, 30 just to engage the guy. You guys can.
Yeah,
fine.
I'll pay that. I'm
Okay.
happy to pay that.
Okay, so go ahead and pay your 30 gold, and then let's. So we'll do this as the actual scene. So what is it you're bringing to him?
So, does everybody want to be there for this? This is the first
I mean, I'd like to be there if we're doing
Right.
exploring magical knowledge. That's fine.
I mean, I'd love to have everybody there. Just checking
Amar
if
also
people
wears the cloak, right? So
Okay.
Oh yeah, but I know about the cloak. It's one of the rangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are in there. What have you brought to? Is there anything that you want this person to examine? Is there anything
Yeah.
that?
I mean, I definitely think we should show them the discs because they're said to be keys used to unbind things of great value or great danger.
right.
So that I think is the key thing, the main thing to have him look at to start.
Okay.
And then we want to just question him about Iron Fang Keep and
Sure.
Yeah.
So the first thing you hand him the discs, and he sort of opens them up and fans them out. This is most interesting. Where did you find these?
Out in the wilds of Thule, inside a cave.
And he looks up and sees you, Amar, and his eyes kind of dart down to the clasp that's holding your cloak, and looks over to you, Malo. And he gets this kind of like knowing kind of grin. He says, leans in. I've not seen one of your kind in quite some time. Is this of interest to you, or is it beyond my need to know?
Let's say for now, that part is beyond you need to know.
So then,
It'd be better for all of us unless you know about that.
I see. Then I shall assume you know nothing, and
You should.
forgive me if I repeat knowledge already known to those such as you. You, of course, and he fans them kind of out into the most kind of the longest range they can. You, of course, know that these are ways of granting entry to ancient sealed places. Yes.
This is not my area of expertise, so I'm at a disadvantage. So you must inform us.
He kind of thumbs, looks over at you, Amar, to see what reaction you have to this.
Go on.
So he looks down. This, of course, is the language, not unlike those of the ancient race from Hyperborea, the Hyperboreans, though it is a dialect unlike one I am familiar. This comes from these lands. A key, this is. A way of accessing. And a name. A name it has in here as well. You know that it's said that when some are brought together, even more power can be had. That these can also serve as other tools. And he's kind of studying your reactions to see how much you knew, how much you didn't know.
Keep it, you must. Use it, you will.
Oh,
These, he kind of looks. These have a name on them. And a name.
some call them Tim.
Yeah. This refers to a great prince, Kowia.
How do you spell that? Cool. Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm a kid of the 90s, so we spell shit with Q's.
Yeah. Like, have you heard of this prince?
No, but the type of name is familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is, again, one of those of the ancient race of this land. This must lead to somewhere connected to Kowia.
Huh. And how would we use this to access this gateway?
This would great secrets are known to be held by ancient magics that only respond to sorceries of equal power, or to any kind of pushes these slightly forward to those who have the key.
Mm-hmm.
You say you found this.
Yes.
You found this where?
Do we have a map? Whoever has the map?
I mean, it was southwest, many leagues from here.
Yeah. I mean, we can.
In a series of caverns.
A series of caverns.
And weren't these on the dead guys that we found where we found?
That's my recollection.
I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
That's my recollection.
Yeah, where you got your staff. It was in their possessions. Or in their corpses' possession, at least.
Mm-hmm.
This, and you see here, and he gestures to one kind of corner of it. This is where this key is to be paired with another.
Uh-huh.
And you kind of see that there is a little, looks like maybe like a hinge of some kind that could attach. And you think there's one on each end. These have other purposes, though I could not speak to what those might be. Though this would access a place and unlock secrets. Though I expect your kind knows well the task of uncovering secrets. He's speaking to you in particular here, Amar. I think he's, because Malo didn't seem to know, and you seem to give the indication, like, go on, I knew this, that he's assumed you're the senior ranger and that Malo is the junior ranger.
I'm doing the inscrutable beard stroking.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this tells me. What else do you consult with this guy about?
I think we should ask him about this. We wrested control of a keep called Iron Fang, at least by its inhabitants now, and those who live in the area. It seems to have ancient origins, perhaps millennia ago. Are you familiar with this keep? It is to the southwest.
I am.
And I give him the approximate number of leagues. It is also haunted by ghosts that we encountered of men who seem to have perished in the midst of war or something of that nature. We wish to know about those as well.
Yes. And he's kind of looking at you. And he looks at over at you, Amar. Looks like he's... You wish to know of that place.
We do.
Then...
I'm assuming word is eventually going to get to him that
this
we have made
place
this claim. So.
is cursed. It is said to have been in the it dates from before the fall of the old ones, before the coming of the people new to this land. You know, we are not the first newcomers here, of course. There are those who came here after this land went to its great place in the vast darkness. Those lost to it. And he's looking at you, Amar. Those seemingly called from far from their homes to a strange new land. Those seem to be the ones who rebuilt on that place, though some great loss is said to have occurred there. The Misthunters speak of a great battle that ended their line, those who were stewards of Iron Fang. And it is laid empty, they say, until our coming, until you seemingly freed that land. You would take the place again?
Yes.
And you face a great burden. There is a great weight of the evils that were inflicted on that place. Perhaps only the gods could cleanse that, or perhaps the writing of whatever wrong may have tainted that place. Iphigenia.
Yep.
So you're listening to kind of all this go on.
Yep.
It may be obvious from my shitty acting, but the what this guy, it seems that he had a change of course here. And you get the sense that he is holding back something now. And he's particularly looking at Malo and at Amar.
Okay. I'm gonna slap down a platinum piece and go, "Tell us what you're hiding, sir."
He puts it down and he looks up. A mistake. I want no trouble.
There will be no trouble if you tell us why you're hiding and what you're hiding. We are fair people.
Fair people. Fair people wearing the marks of the Rangers when you are quite clearly not Rangers. I want no trouble with you. I want no trouble with them.
We have come to form a new order to aid the Rangers in their fight against the evil that plagues this land. So we follow in their footsteps and stand on the shoulders of these giants. But we are new to this land and are here to continue their tradition by the grace of Auroras.
Nice.
Okay, and he kind of looks back and forth. And why? Why do you wear their colors, strangers?
We found these cloaks in the same place where we encountered these discs, and we knew that it was given to us by destiny, by the gods, to carry on the mission of those who fell. So we donned their cloaks, and it aided us greatly in our quest to reach Tuleborg and finally find you, who we were led to, who we knew would tell us what we needed to know to carry out deeds of great good in this land.
He looks down at the platinum piece and tentatively puts his hand on it. Iphigenia, do you take your hand off of it?
I just put it down.
Oh, you just put it down. Okay, so then he takes the platinum piece and kind of looks at it and looks up at you guys as if trying to judge, how to respond. If what you say is true, then you should take care. Some may draw the same conclusions that I did. That either you are walkers of the waste, or that you have pillaged those, and the Rangers do not take kindly to those who would steal from their own. This, and he gestures down at the discs you have. You took this from one of them, did you not?
From a fallen one, yes. And we are going to speak with the Rangers as soon as they return.
Perhaps he knows where to find them.
Mm-hmm.
I can. If you wish to speak to the Rangers, I can have word to them. Though, take care, they truck not with the affairs of gods. Their concern is man. Then you should know as well, it was the Rangers that held Iron Fang Keep. It was the Rangers who fell to an old power. Something deep in the bones of this land that stretches back to the dawn of time. Something deep, deep within. We skirt the edges of this secret, dancing at the very edges of the shadows, but in the heart of this land, something burns. The Rangers drew its ire, or so say the Misthunters, and they are paying the eternal price for that. If you would seek that place for your own, you may court the same fate that befell the Rangers. Whatever your choice may be, you may wish to consult with them, should they deign to speak to you.
Yes, we shall, if they are willing.
He kind of leans back. Do you have any other stuff you want to ask before we...
I think that's all that we need to get from him, unless anybody else has any questions. There's really the other questions that we have are, I think, better answered by the Rangers themselves.
Okay. Yeah. So then, what we'll end with, guys, is I will fill in a little bit more information about the city as well in Discord, just so we've got that, because that's not quite as critical as this. If there is anything else you can think of between now and next session, we can deal with that as well. And what we will end with is, let's see here. I think we end with you guys. You're relaxing maybe at... What would you be doing in leisure during your time here? Would you be drinking? Would you be spending time on the, Tullyborg Common?
I think we could buy Kane a drink for his victory on the field.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. And there's, your reputation in this town has just skyrocketed. The name Kane the Lion is on everyone's lips at this point.
Oh my god.
You've become a bit of a local celebrity already, Kane. So while you were longing to try and find, escape into the anonymity of the wilds, you are very quickly becoming somewhat of a folk hero. And maybe that's where this scene happens. So the what do you call it? You guys are sitting, you're at the kind of a long table at the the Dragon's Rest, and you see that while you're sitting around, Amar, one of the Eskimo servers comes and puts the tray down, clears the drinks, puts new drinks down, goes up, and then you see there is a small folded note in front of you. And your reactions being as quick as they are, hand goes over it and you bring it into you. When you have the opportunity to read the note, it says, under the sign of the trickster at midnight. And it is signed with a single name, Ahote.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And we will pick up with our midnight meeting at the next session. So,
Awesome.
guys, all right. That was a lot done today. So let's get some XP.
We finally got a lot of information from
Yeah, I know.
what's going on.
All the mysteries being accumulated.
Yep.
I would make a suggestion maybe to the guys here ranging, wearing those ranger cloaks, since you really don't need them in the city. Maybe
Yeah,
you shouldn't
I-
wear them.
No, I
It
agree.
might draw the wrong type of attention.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a suggestion. I'm not going to
No,
tell
I
you what
learned
to
my
do.
Yep. No, I agree with you.
Okay. So everyone putting in chat how many points of Astonishing Fortune you got left? Nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then I'll give you that. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. Let's see. Yep, where you going? Where you going? Stop that. All right. So, Artair is going to get double. Oh wait, plus the XP bonus. Okay, so everyone is going to get 561 XP, except for Artair, who gets 1122.
Nice. How close are you leveling, Arlen?
Well, I leveled last time, so
You did. Okay.
do I still get? I mean, I'm lower level than other people, but I'm not level 1 or anything.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get until you get caught up to everyone.
Sounds
500 and what, Kev?
Where is it?
61.
561.
Okay, cool.
And that includes the XP bonus. So, outstanding. And I think you guys may have gained some reputation as well, too.
Cool.
I'll have to figure out what that's going to be, though. And you definitely made a friend.
Yeah.
So close to level 5, I can smell it.
Oh, jeez.
It's killing me. I'm like, what, 8? Where's that number? 800 basically away.
Oh, jeez.
Ah,
Maybe next time.
Maybe
Yep,
next time.
yep,
Okay. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 18 of Reavers of Thule. As always, and Flame, thanks so much. Flame joined us for the last hour or so. So, thanks for.
Nice.
It's not Flame's jam. Normally is not Ash, but we welcome you back in Thule. So, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. Or alternatively, you can reach me by Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can shoot me an email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com, or the easiest way to reach us nowadays is by joining us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description below. All the players are part of the Discord server, and we talk about plans for the session. We've had some folks who have been helping out with suggestions and ideas as well. In addition to all the other games, we have channels for all the games we run on the channel, as well as general discussion and looking for group things as well. So if you're interested in playing with us, you can join us that way. In addition, if you want to join me at the table for one of our monthly open table sessions, that's how I organize those. The first of which will be later this afternoon. In addition, there is a link in the description of this video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any other way. We don't run Patreon. We don't run ads. If you are inclined to contribute to the channel with some GP, I would encourage you to click through that and learn more about the Heroes Save Villages charity initiative, which benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Organization. It's a really terrific organization that benefits over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children in over 130 different countries, providing a stable and supportive environment for kids who would otherwise not have an opportunity to enjoy a childhood. So it really is a terrific organization. You can learn all about it through that link, and any donations made go directly to the organization. None of it's eaten up by a middleman. None of it goes to the channel. So, I don't want anyone to feel obligated to do that, of course, but if you are inclined to toss any GP in the direction of the channel or show any financial support for the channel, that's how I would encourage you to do so. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. Joining me once again, 18 Saturday mornings in a row. Thank you so much, guys. Carl, Arlen, George, Colin, and Will. Thanks for joining me yet again back in Thule. Congratulations on your new sobriquet, Kane.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, Kev.
Awesome. Okay, guys, so then for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, happy gaming.